the Burnside bath, didn't you?
I did. I did a little bit.
Right until the firework came. That was probably before, wasn't it?
Oh, well, the firework hit my face was well after that.
Oh, okay. Good.
Duo of drunkards. Because that's actually accurate to what's happening. That is accurate to what's happening.
Hello, I'm the disembodied. Oh, no longer disembodied. I have a body now. Now I'm disembodied again. Why are you zooming into my face?
Because I can.
Dramatic pause.
Because I can.
Just like fucking spills all over you.
Shut up. It ain't gonna happen.
Just I don't know.
You're intoxicated like I am, sir. Hence a duo of drunkards. So what movie were you watching? I know we were watching one earlier.
Annihilation.
Annihilation? That does sound interesting. Sounds like a mystery film.
It's very strange.
You were telling me it was really strange. I was just like really confused because I was just like you weren't really putting in well. It wasn't described well initially. I was just like, what?
The minute you have to watch it again, or have to watch it again to figure out what it's all about.
Yeah, it sounds like one of those films where it's analytical as fuck, and you have to like really like kind of look into it and to kind of get it.
Is that a bottle?
Is that a what?
Yeah, it's a cork.
This is indeed a cork. How'd it get on the floor? That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering.
Lights are fucking bright, dude. What the fuck, dude?
You deserve it. You deserve a spotlight on yourself, okay? That's what you deserve.
Attention! Give me attention!
Attention!
It's my attention! Ah! I don't know, man.
Have you ever had a Avid Cider Co?
What?
Avid Cider? This is dragon fruit. You want to try it? It's actually really, really good. Yeah, it's like you taste it and suddenly just instant pukage.
If only the camera would catch something like that.
Dude, if that happened, I really would.
We need views!
Nah. I'm not even like... Dude, my last Ignar's take actually got 3 likes and 2 dislikes last time I saw.
Damn.
Yeah. My takes was... Dude... Okay, actually, this is kind of funny. So, you know Richard Spencer, right? So, there was some audio footage that was leaked of him shortly after the Unite the Right rallies in Charlottesville and shit. Well, he was literally saying, my ancestors owned and enslaved these people, these fucking guys. You know, he was going on a literal, I mean, to be honest, it was a literal racist rampage. It really was. Like, I mean, because honestly, it's no doubt Richard Spencer. It's pretty...
I'm not surprised that Richard Spencer would say shit
Yeah,
like that.
and honestly, dude, I'll share my video with you, dude, because it's so funny. Like, I mean, it's hilarious how, like, this dude is, like, freaking the fuck out like a little child. Like, I literally call him a child in the video, like, in my take.
God, this sounds amazing.
It's like, dude, you are literally a child, Spencer. You're literally acting like a child, and you consider yourself an alpha.
So
and you're acting like a little pampered little baby who didn't get his way.
Dislikes, though?
I don't know, and I don't care. I love it. I don't care if my videos have all dislikes. It's just like, you know what?
Weird.
You know what? People are just like, I don't like this video. Blah, blah. It's like, you know what? Good. Fuck you
It
then.
doesn't appeal to my bias towards Nazism.
Or this one character I happen to love and he said a
It's just
bad
weird
thing
how,
about
like,
it.
Very few people out there
Oh, dude.
would
Okay.
see your videos.
Yeah. Actually,
It's just
okay, this
weird.
is a totally side thing, but how do you, like... I mean, I know your positions with war and shit, but, like, I mean, because they're pretty much the same as mine, but, like, how do you feel about, like, just people in general, but there's also someone in our circle that... Wait, what? What?
What I thought about people, I said kill them all.
You know what? There's there's a part of my philosophy that's a part of that. It's called Bring On the Nukes. So you know what? I can't disagree. Anyway.
Misanthropy.
Woo!
fuck mankind, that also means us. We're gonna be fucked.
I'm okay with it. I'm embrace it. That's a great thing about it. Anyway, so
But hey, that's why we have wine. And
I have my own. What am I doing?
like took it like, don't drop it, no.
Yeah. Yeah, but I actually do. I mean, you and I obviously, and I think they're very merited. At least my positions with Warren is just like, I just don't trust her. I just don't. Her Medicare for all position is just wonky. It doesn't actually like mean it.
It's inconsistent.
That too.
She's a liar.
And not trust. Like, there's so much for me personally to show that
Like, she had to pledge to not take corporate PAC money as
Bernie
a certain
doesn't
moment.
because he just doesn't
He
do that.
never did. He
Yeah.
never fucking did. And one
He takes PAC.
instance
He
in his
takes
career.
PAC money. I mean, there is a caveat. He does take PAC money, but it's
But
because
not corporate.
because there's
donors.
because you can have grassroots funded political
You could
action
have-
committees.
You could have PACs. You basically just said PACs.
White Lives Splatter. Check out Twitter. Ignore.
Wait.
I'm out. Holmes. Nigger style. I guess I'm gonna have to check out Twitter.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
Well, I can't check my Twitter on any other device, so I'm gonna have to do that later. So, I mean, it's my Twitter though. Like, I have to log on to my Twitter.
I don't have a Twitter.
Well, you can go on to mobile. You know,
maybe if I go on DuckDuckGo. I know. I just want to make it weird for you.
no, wait, what? What? DuckDuckGo is weird? I use DuckDuckGo,
No,
bro.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, what are you talking
So how
about?
about
What's weird? What's weird about this? What are you talking about? I'm
this
confused.
is Twitter. So you can sign in and get on your Twitter then.
Okay, let me do it then.
So I'll help you out. I'll be a bro.
Well, fine, you slut.
I have no rebuttal to that.
Good. You better not.
I kind of am a slut.
You really are. You're a man slut, dude. You honestly are, though. I'm trying to remember. Oh God.
Yeah.
You know what? I just realized something. I forgot my Twitter password. No! No! Oh no!
Oh god.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. I'm not gonna say anything about my passwords publicly.
God damn it.
I'm just going to have to, like, internally think about this, okay? Go away!
Scrutinize it. I got his password.
Go. Okay, is that it? No, okay. God, no. How did I forget it? Oh, wait. Is that it?
Watch him get locked out of his own account.
No, shut up!
You're not kidding.
You know what? Hold
It is
on.
pretty frustrating though when you forget a password and you're like, oh god damn it, what was it? That's so annoying.
I know.
That must have been written down a little bit.
It's usually what I do. In case I can't remember it.
No, it won't be that. Okay.
Most of them I can't remember.
Well, I also put it somewhere where nobody would think to look. Oh, that's a weird. Oh, I guess it's not totally weird because I would totally imagine people who are into guns. I guess listening to Steve Miller.
Oh my God. I give up. I don't even care.
That's
Cum dings. How about vagina dings? How about that? How about vaginal cum dings? Okay. How about that? How about them apples? You're going to bed? Damn. You're missing out
1
on the
o'clock in the morning? Yes.
it is
Actually,
pretty
to
late.
be to correct you, it's 1:35 in the
So
morning.
that's
136
yeah.
actually.
I'm so big.
Oh, I guess even you need your beauty sleep, so it's understandable.
What's that?
Tell Robert to stay back. Stay back, boy. Stay back. All right. Good night. Jimmy, he was chill, a joke and chill. Wait, what? Group is back. A boss is a right as snowflake that needs to be unmodded. I'm out till further notice. Huh? A boss, Aritis Snowflake? I mean, he has, to be fair, I know he does have, like, right-leaning positions, but that doesn't really make him a snowflake. But, no, he tried to go on my channel and block me that way.
The fuck?
Oh, come on, boss. Hey, boss.
That's a fucking
Don't do
Steve
that.
Shives, man.
Okay.
Steve Shives.
I know he makes the joke about bands and stuff, but he needs to, I guess, like, I do have a mild side of, like, I'm starting to, there's a part of me that is low-key kind of like, I don't know if, it's just like, if you start taking it too seriously with the whole band thing, then that's gonna be an issue and problematic. Like, just saying. We don't want that. We don't want that. I don't want, like, mod drama. That's, like, kind of, like, that's why I want to try to minimize that shit. Because at the end of the day, I don't really like this shit. I don't like the personal drama shit. I like political drama, but not, like, when it gets outside of that, that's when I'm like, go away, it's like, that's when I hate it. So it's just like, oh boy, if he's actually trying to do that for, like, honestly, for whatever reason, it's just like, don't.
Distracting.
Just don't. It's just like, Jimmy's been here for quite a long time, So it's just like, if anything, he's got more of the, you're fine. He got more of the credentials of being here more than he does, technically, which is kind of it. I know he memes, which is kind of that's kind of my vet. It's like, I know he memes, which is okay. And I know he doesn't take it too seriously, everything too seriously. Because, he's been here long enough with me to, for me to kind of be like, there's at least not a level of, like, not taking it too seriously, which kind of vibes of me, because I don't take things that seriously. I don't know. I'm not Mike Johnson, FYI, I was fucking with Stefan. Oh, man, so I chugged that whole beer that night? Like, for no reason? Fuck me, dude. So, Jimmy Whisperer, you were a fucking master troll. Not only did you troll me on saying you were trolling as Mike Johnson, sorry, Mike Johnson. Anyway, I really am. I honestly, I'm so sorry, Mike. He was on earlier, and I was like, "Hey, Jimmy, what's up?" And I was just like, I think he blew it off like nothing and didn't notice, but I feel so bad.
Damn.
Dude, Mike Johnson got trolled as much as I did, and dude, man, that's why you're a mod, Jimmy, because you are a master motherfucker troll. You are like...
Yeah, I gotta learn to stop feeding him.
It's not even...
I kind of fed him.
No. It's okay to feed trolls. I feed him too. It's just like, it's the art of it. You have to understand the art. Is Bear?
Oh, yeah, he was in here.
Okay.
Bear.
I saw him, actually.
He's probably in the cage, yeah.
Yeah, he's in the kennel.
Yeah, I want to show him off. Bear. Bear.
Is he in the kennel?
Yeah, there he is. Hey, buddy. Hi, Bear.
Now you can barely see him in there.
Hi, buddy. Oh. I shall reveal you to the people.
The mighty bear.
The mighty bear.
It doesn't look like he likes that, dude. He's hating that. He doesn't like it at all.
He is fine. You can't see all the loves and doves he gets, but he gets lots of loves.
I guess I could just.
He is playing the drums on the tomatinos. Playing drums of the tomatinos. I'll let you down, buddy. Just getting traumatized and just
like
I think
oh God, us alone would be a very effective PSA against alcoholism.
Amen. I totally agree. And against weed. A PSA against marijuana and every other substance that you can think of. DMT, acid, mushrooms, just crocodile, heroin, opioids, just kratom, weed, alcohol, tobacco, all of it.
if we were born like
crocodile will rot your skin off.
It will. That's why we need to legalize all drugs so that shit can be weeded out as a problematic thing, so it's regulated to be safe and not kill people and rot their skin.
If we were born like 45 years earlier, we would be the perfect. We would be the perfect poster boys for Dare. Like, Dare was such a fucking failure of an anti-drug, program. But if they just videotaped us, they would actually be pretty effective. Like, oh, I don't want to be these idiots. Getting fucking drunk and crossfaded and high. Fuck them. I'm gonna go out and be productive.
I'm saying that too. I'm saying is you have to vet these randos, not mod them after 1 or 2 streams.
I've seen a lot of shit. Oh.
Fair enough. I know you have. But to that last point, all I'm saying is you need to vet these randos. I mean, which is actually a very fair criticism. And I definitely take... I know I'm drunk right now, but that is definitely one thing I do take into consideration as criticism. So.
Oh, hello, Benders.
Oh, is that Bandito? Okay, I'm getting Bandito right the fuck now.
Bandito, oh my goodness. Oh.
What are you doing?
Nah, he's gonna be okay with it. You'll just like... Oh.
He's not always in the mood. Well, I guess you can coax him.
I can coax him easy, dude. See?
When I was a kid, a computer the size of this frickin' garage. Now it can fit into your cell phone and more.
Yeah,
so true.
That's what I love about that. I mean, that's what I love about the advance. Like, I mean, I consider evolution also technological too.
Oh yeah, of course.
Glasses.
I mean, there's fucking exosuits for soldiers. Like, dude, have you seen the Boston Dynamics fucking like dog-like, like mule-like robots that they make? Dude, those things are.
Yeah, I've seen those. I think.
Dude, they have them like. Dude, they had them at like some public park somewhere. And dead ass, they were like dog size, and they were just, and people can play with them basically. Whoa. Dude, in 20 years, that shit's gonna be like the next law enforcement, bro. Like that's what I'm seeing with the shit. People now are like, oh look, this cute little robot's like a dog.
Robot soldiers.
I mean, to some extent, drones, yes, they already kind of do.
No, they don't look like soldiers. They look like little.
I mean, yeah, there's different. To some extent, we're already using robots. I mean, drones is
have
one.
A whole bunch of weapons.
I know the Israeli military has something a lot like that. It's on wheels, and it's able to carry away.
Guess who funded and did research for all that?
America.
Yep. So
naturally,
of course,
we're the ones aiding and abetting on genocide in the Middle East.
Oh, and the sweet little Banditos just all plopped and flopped out and just
because instead of having the secular.
Fuck robots, fuck automation. I mean, I'm okay. I'm okay with automation because it will get.
You're gonna take the jobs.
The drudgery.
The robots will take the jobs, man.
I wanted to take the drudgery jobs and shit. Like, I want my job to be automated. No, I want that. I want my.
They're taking the jobs.
I'm okay with McDonald's being automated and shit. Like, really, does anyone love and does anyone love and actually enjoy working in places like that?
I'm pretty sure that there are
No one wants to do warehouse work and shit.
I can't speak for men,
but it would be nice going to McDonald's or especially Taco Bell.
And not get your order fucked up.
Yeah.
And have a robot do it.
See, at this rate, there's that. There's also
the machine will fuck up your order.
Yeah. I mean, that's why, that's why...
everything will be the same every time, no matter what...
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and which is why, Andrew Yang has been so popular, because he's been talking about UBI, because it's definitely a solution to the whole automation aspect.
Finland has been experimenting with it.
Not just Finland, just been random municipalities, not even in America, and in Canada, Europe, in London.
Taco Bell.
UBI has been experimented with in municipalities in various different places all around the world.
I was just trying to shout out the counter argument with that when you're saying automation.
Should. I'm down. I'm
just
always
said it. They're taking the jobs.
well, and honestly, I feel like that's just a. I mean, obviously,
Damn robots are
well,
taking
the thing
the
is,
jobs.
you're me. I mean, that's kind of a meme argument because
I
it's
know.
such an easy counterable argument. Because honestly, no one wants to. Like, I don't want to work at like. Look, I don't like. Okay. Like, I don't like the system my job is built upon, but I don't hate my job. I actually do kind of like working at the position I do.
You have
I don't,
mixed feelings about
yes,
the job.
yeah, mixed feelings, yes. And
Everyone
I don't,
does.
and the thing is, if it's automated, I would actually like that because it's like, you know, if my job would be like, hey, I have to just maintain the machines that would do the job I normally would be working, I would totally be okay with that. I would love that. Like, I mean, and plus I would get to learn more about, you know, the engineering and electronic industry, and plus I can actually have, you know, experience and knowledge on something that would be beneficial.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and like...
Although the one problem, it takes one person
Now-
to maintain a machine that normally 10 people would be doing the job for.
That's true, actually. Like, it will... So, I think not only will it replace certain jobs, but I think it'll also bring back jobs, because even when you have automation going, you still need someone who's actually able to maintain the robot doing the shit.
Exactly, which is why I'm
So
okay.
those are the
like,
jobs
that's,
that would
which
be-
hence why I said,
Available.
well,
One person can maintain a machine that's a job of 10 people that would normally be there without the machine.
well, let me throw the like actually like a whole free market aspect of it. Wouldn't it be cheaper to make to have automation instead of employing a bunch of work? That would be kind of
Well, at some point, that's going to be the reality. So,
yeah, and it already is to
'Cause
some
They
extent.
wanna tax
It already-
basically, think of it this way. At
minimum
this rate,
wage,
right now, it's
and
about
they
right
wanna
here. So
jack
this
it up
is
to the point where it'd be
this is
cheaper
automation
for
as far as
machines.
costs, and this would be like employment right now. So, like right now, employment is slightly lower, but as the years go by, it's gonna, it's gonna kind of gradually.
Yeah.
You can see visually what's going on here, Unless the contrast from that light is really bad, I don't know.
Hail
but-
materialist nihilism. I like that, Carl. I'm not like as much.
Materialist nihilism.
I'm not as much as a materialist as you are, Carl. But I like the nihilism part. I definitely agree with.
But
Nihilism
I was
equals
gonna say one thing
SJWism.
about the McDonald's jobs. At this rate, people hate working at McDonald's so much they'd probably rather be a stripper.
Fuck, I would. Hell yeah. I would be a gay stripper in a second if it made me pay more. If I made a better wage, fuck yeah. I don't give a shit. I'll make more tips that way. Hell yeah. Fuck it. I don't give a shit.
I wish I was Stevie Wonder right now.
Oh God, what does that mean? What does that
It means
imply?
I'm fucking blind!
Good. You know what? Good. I don't want you to imagine it.
Well, I guess it'd be better than...
How's nihilism
Don't
SJWism? SJWism is just niggerism. I'm gonna go on the ground right now.
What the fuck?
What the hell? I literally went on the ground for a second. Oh God, oh fuck. Agreed. Totally agreed. What happened there?
So, is
What happened?
the one-child rule eugenics thing also chinkism then?
Yep. Chinkism.
Central has now come.
You don't get to see the fact that I get to smoke legal tobacco tonight. You don't get to see it.
Why are you censoring this?
I want more Zionism in the chat. I want them to explain their incorrect positions. Go for it, I guess. If anyone wants to do so, do it.
Gotta kill the Philistines and the Palestinians and the Muslims. Because fuck them all, guys. We gotta kill them. Zionism.
Okay, you said guys, okay?
Guys.
No. Okay, why are you doing the Boston accent of guys?
Guys.
You're saying the Boston accent equivalent of guys. It's goys.
That's what I said, guys.
No, it's goy.
Guys.
There's not enough ooh in it.
Guys.
Where's the ooh in it? Where's the goys? Where's the goys? Where's the gooys?
Nah, goy schmoys is the same fucking difference.
You fucking goyim. You're a fucking infiltrate. You're a sleeper cell. You're a fucking sleeper cell. Stefan. I love how people are putting Stefan's name in parentheses. You know the triple parentheses of like the Jew. Yeah, they're literally doing that for. Okay, actually,
Fuck, dude.
dude. Okay, hold on. You know what? Okay, I have to. Okay, you know what? I have. Okay, you know what? I have to defend Stefan. Oh, you know what? I have to defend him.
Oh, that's so
I
fucked
find
up.
his positions to be absurd sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, but I still love him. He's still my friend. And you know what? Okay, look. I don't. How is he this like Zionist, whatever, like super liberal? What? Like, okay.
Oh,
like,
he's definitely not a Zionist.
look,
I know that for sure.
I know you guys are memeing, but like, it's absurdly woke. It's the wokeness. Liberals can't be socialists and an oxymoron. I do agree with that, but like, the wokeness. You know what? Okay, the wokeness. I do. Okay, you know. Okay, you know how Stefan can be. Okay, look. You want to know like one of his positions is you know, we shouldn't care about like, you know, what happens, you know, when it comes to like Islamization and refugee crisis and our kind of like he's I mean, I don't want to put words in his mouth because I'm drunk right now and I know this and I'm probably going to do an ad hom / straw man on him.
I need to be in.
But like, at least from my understanding, he's okay with. Oh my god, did you fucking kill the rest of the 19 crimes fucking wine, you slut? Fuck you. Oh, well, I guess that means I have to open up the Apothic Dark. Jesus, dude, you just murked it. Are you liberal, Carl? No, I doubt that somehow. Oh, really? Oh,
But
god.
I'm a slut, Andrew.
Wow. Well, there's some conflict in the chat now, too. I mean, let me finish with Stefan's point. Like, I mean, when it comes to the whole refugee thing, I feel like he definitely has the woke position of, like, it's, you know, because it's the fault of the United States, we should hold the responsibility of taking all the refugees, or at least a majority of them, regardless if they're Islamists or not. And it's just like, and also doesn't think that Saudi Arabia, the reason why their government is corrupted and bad as they are is because of the theocratic aspect of it, which it is. But he, you know, there's different positions that he has that are obviously just woke. I mean, you know, and I don't think he knows it, and you know what, and I don't begrudge him for it. I still love the guy. He's my friend, you know, like, I mean, you know, nothing's gonna, you know, it's just like, it's politics. At the end of the day, I don't let politics get in the way of a friendship, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, you know, so it's just like, despite the, you know, because him and I definitely have disagreements about Warren. Like, he's more, like, okay with letting Warren be the nominee. You and I, especially me, I'm very against that type of idea.
Yeah.
Considering, you know, I consider her very distrustful, etc., etc. I mean, my position is pretty known at this point. But, like, it's just, you know, it's like with things like that, it's just like, I just don't, you know, it is kind of a partially, like, oblivious wokeness. You know, it's just like, nothing, I mean, it's not against him personally, it's just like part of his politics is just kind of like, wokish, like, you know, kind of wherever, whatever. It's just like, and also, I know he's definitely said, you know, he doesn't care about the philosophy of things as much as the policy and the pragmatism of things, which, ironically, is a philosophical position, but at the same time, why do I have the camera? Whatever. Oops,
When it comes to the Islamification of, like, Europe from what people have been freaking out about, now, yes, I think it's a problem, especially when, there's been a higher amount of rapes.
I think there is
as a result.
I do think there is a part of it that is hyperbolic, but that doesn't negate the fact that it is a problem. Like, obviously, there is a higher fact of rapes, sexual assault, violence, muggings,
mutilation.
Yeah, like, there's just like,
attacks.
everything that's just a problem has risen because of the fact that it's a problem. I think there are certain aspects and variables that are hyperbolic, but at the end of the day, it's still a fucking problem, it's still rising, it still needs to be addressed.
Back in the early Middle Ages, when there were more Christian missionaries going to Europe,
God, why do so many bottles have to be
that was a huge problem back then.
Yeah.
But Christianity eventually had to adapt to the customs of Europe.
Yeah.
Which made it, you know, it's still pretty misogynistic, but it wasn't anywhere near as misogynistic or fucking toxic as it was back then.
Yeah, for real.
Islam it's so primitive, like, it's also a young religion in comparison. Like, the oldest texts we have are, like, as far back as, like, I don't know, like, AD 600. Like, it's a pretty new religion. It's pretty fucking recent. But I mean, you know, it doesn't negate the fact that I hate all of them equally.
Yep.
Judaism, Christianity, Islam.
Every fucking...
They're all from the fucking desert. They're all
I just hate...
I
mean, I don't necessarily...
genocidal, misogynistic pieces of shit that
hold
kill
on.
each other
I
for
don't even...
pieces of desert land.
I mean, I don't even necessarily hate a person because the fact they're just religious, like, you know, because honestly, I'm pretty sure they're pretty fucking naive over to the actual horrors of the religion that they're believing.
Yeah.
It's just that the text in itself, the ideology, is pretty good. It's actually like a more drier version of the 19 Crimes that we just got. Like, because honestly, I don't, like, you know, obviously I'm sure there's some people that do outright believe that shit, but, like, I mean, that's why, you know, it's the text, it's the ideology in itself. I mean, that's why, you know, when it comes to this whole war on terror, or, you know, when it comes to, like, looking at, you know, terrorist attacks, you know, whatever, and trying to, like, do violent combatants against it, it's just, like... That doesn't, like, if anything, it emboldens the ideology, because these type of ideologies are based on violence, and when you treat it in reaction with violence, it's just like, the whole idea of, like, oh, violence will beget violence doesn't work, and it, honestly, to a lot of extent, doesn't all the time. You know, there's been very rare instances in history where it has, but... Like, especially with religion, it just emboldens it. Like, you know, like, you know, with al-Baghdadi, you know, that we just killed him and, or supposedly died, you know, trying to kill him, you know, because he blew himself up in a raid to kill him, you know, and he's the leader of ISIS, right? Well, like, his death, not only will just another leader replace him, but even just
hundreds more in his place will replace him.
Exactly. And not only that, but a dying organization of a overall broad, globally dying ideology
on all flanks, man.
And the whole ideology in itself on a global perspective is to an extent is dying, but now you've just emboldened it to try to go out with a bigger bang. So now, like, potentially there might be another...
Because their leader is going to be a martyr for them now.
You know, like, actually, a boss, someone in the chat mentioned this the other night, is that there might be sleeper cells to get motivated by them. And, you know, it's like, oh, Baghdadi died, well, I'm motivated, you know, from ISIS even more. And they could just be here and motivated by their own cause, but based from them.
There was a friend of mine that was trying to argue that we should be engaged in there, but that's only going to make it worse.
And also, not only economically, but culturally, societally, on every front, it makes it fucking worse. And people wonder why they're so against the system and the establishment, because it continues these fucking type of situations.
And that's one of the main reasons why people struggle to have decent jobs, decent education, decent fucking healthcare, that really their tax dollars should actually be paying for. You know, so then they can actually get the education they need to get the job that they want. You know, capitalism's really good at things that people want, but it ain't really good for things that people need. You know, healthcare should be a human right. Education beyond high school should be a human right.
Oh yeah, capitalism is good for getting stuff I want, like this phone to do the streams, or the Xbox One to play fucking Battlefield, or Battlefield by DICE, you know, to make the fucking game and shit.
Or DVDs of the theatrical version of Star Wars, because fuck the special.
Or
those cringy dinosaurs that fucking George put on there. Fuck you, George. I don't want those stupid cringy dinosaurs in the Tatooine scenes.
You just scared Bandit.
Fuck the special edition.
I had a point. I forgot it. I was holding my base for some reason. What's the chat saying? By 2050, the majority of Austrians under the age of 15 will be religion of peace. Totally fine, guys. Imperialism. Vote suck dem. Totally, guys. Social suck dem. Oh, totally. Oh, yes. Let's just cock up to the religion of peace.
Let's cock up to the religion of... You know what's fucked up about Islam? You know what Islam literally means in Arabic?
Submission.
Yes.
Yep.
Submission.
Don't
you will submit to me.
Fuck you for grabbing my fucking ponytail, nigga. I did not mean to actually literally slap you that hard. I'm just drunk. And I literally flung your glasses.
I would slap you back, but the bong's in the way.
Here.
Oh God! I'm so sorry. I didn't even read it.
You.
Holy shit!
Oh, you just like. Oh.
Should I get ice?
No, you're fine. I'll just smoke more weed.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, maybe this bottle will help. It's cold.
Fuck you! No, I will just smoke more weed. I deserved it. fair enough. I did deserve it. I did deserve that slap in the jaw that like fucked me up a little.
That was really good though. You got my glasses off too.
And you just fucked my jaw a little bit, so I think we're
They're a
even.
little smudgy though.
That's how friends resolve issues. We just literally slap each other across the face, and that's how we do shit.
I did not mean to hit you. Did I hit you in the temple?
No, you hit me like right here.
Oh, the jaw. Shit. It's red. I can see it.
Oh, really? Is it?
That's a little... It's gonna go away, though.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna be okay. I'm just a little blush.
It's hard to see the fucking light in the way!
No, it's the shade. It's the shadow. But it's okay. I'm just gonna be a little blush.
But, like,
I'm gonna be a little blush.
Wait.
It's on my job to educate
that's
you.
right, 'cause I pulled
Car
your
Rove
puppy.
2019. Wait, what?
I remember,
when I
'cause I
ran.
pulled your
Oh wait,
puppy.
hold on. I'm missing some shit here. When I ran loses upon the wokeness in the West of all the kids on gender transition medication. Are they not wrong to laugh at that, or am I just woke? Wait, what? Hold on. I'm drunk, so I gotta read this. When I ran loses upon the wokeness in the West of all the kids on gender transition medication.
That's not... That sounds like...
Okay, and they are not wrong to laugh at that. Okay, when all the kids are, like, absolutism, all the kids, sure, yes. But if there's, like, certain people who do have genuine gender dysphoria,
Which is a tiny minority.
You know what? And I know there's a
In the
lot of
population.
minority that is slightly to the extent that tries to, like, there's a nickname for them, trans trenders. And you know what?
Fuck those people. They
exactly.
They
Because
trivialize the very issues that people with gender...
And they are the true,
legitimate
and they are
gender
the true
dysphoria have.
SJWs when it comes to the whole trans issue. Because you know what, I don't begrudge someone just because they're trans, but the whole fact that there are people that literally SJWize and politically correctify and identically politicize the whole issue and make it this whole big, oh my god, you know, is that they fuck up the actual people who
I am trans.
like literally they undermine people. Like you know what? Like you know Blair White, right? Blair White. Like she's one of the people that get like ostracized, you know, by these same people, ostracized because she actually is like, you know, because she's a transgender, but she actually is honestly rational with the issue. She's like, if you are legitimately trans, you should actually go for the procedures and go and commit with it and actually, you know, like, because if you are trans, then go with it and actually embrace that and be yourself. Like, that's the whole position. But these type of SJW transgender fuckwits always undermine her position of like, oh, she's just saying that if the only specific scientific, you know, gender dysphoria diagnosis matter. It's just like, well, no shit, because if you're a transgender, then you would have that diagnosis to go for the procedure, right? Right?
Oh, yeah.
So if you're not, then you're just using it as some little blah, blah, blah. And if you don't have it as a diagnosis, fine then. Okay, you know what? Fine. Then just at least commit to the procedure to go through and actually commit to that whole issue, you know? It's just like, if you actually are a transgender, fucking actually be that. If you're doing it for some publicity stunt or just for some SJW narrative or for whatever the fuck, then you're just a piece of shit and you really are undermining the whole narrative, you know? Because it's like, I really do want to, you know, be like, hey, you know, if you're trans, fine, go ahead, go, you know. At the end of the day, whatever you want to be, I don't give a fuck. You know, at the end of the day, I don't care. It's just that, you know, it's just that people that try to, like, put identity politics, put this SJW politically correct narrative on it, it's just, I just fucking hate it. And this whole tribalistic narrative of the whole echo chamber is like, oh, you know, if you don't accept trans, then you're just transphobic and a horrible, hateful piece of shit.
If you don't respect
my other kin
and my gender is
so
a jar of mayonnaise, then you are transphobic.
It's just absolutely just fuck. It's just like, you know, because there are people who genuinely have that as a condition. Because
I know.
Yeah.
Like,
you know,
actual gender dysphoria.
And, you know, it's just like, how do you think they feel when it's just like, oh, you know,
when you're basically disrespecting their fucking issue by doing something that's, like, comparatively fucking frivolous.
Yeah.
That's, like, basically, like, saying, oh, you can't play as a Nazi, because Elie Wiesel is gonna be fucking pissed when Elie Wiesel is too goddamn busy dealing with his own PTSD in the fucking concentration camp. He's not gonna give a fuck about some fucking video game of a guy playing as a Nazi. He's gonna see that and go, oh, it's just history. I don't give a shit.
I mean,
I'm gonna go curl up in a
that's
ball.
that's a whole other issue. It's
Trying
just
to
like
distract myself from the
you wanna know
horrible
what's-
trauma
you
of
wanna know
being in a
what's-
concentration
And
camp.
you want to know what's funny? You're kind of bringing up a kind of a side point to this whole broader SJW
Well, I mean, that's the example.
Well, yeah. I mean, because you're bringing up the issue of like, oh, there's some games that glorify Nazis and shit. I think about that.
no, there aren't. I'm not saying that.
I know you're not. I know you're not. I'm talking about. I'm talking about this whole SJW, the broad topic of SJWs and shit. I think we kind of pivot into
what
that
I'm basically
conversation
trying
at
to
this
say is
point.
like what the SJWs do wrong is they act more offended than the people that they try to defend. And that's disgusting
that's one
because
thing.
it trivializes what the people they're defending actually feel. It disrespects them. So they try to they're basically doing the opposite thing of what they're trying to do. It's the funniest but also the cruelest twist of irony ever.
Yeah.
They're the most ineffectual beings on this earth.
And I actually saw a video of
And I hope they don't procreate. We should sterilize them.
I'm okay with sterilizing anyone who gives a fuck. And that's a whole overpopulation conversation, but that's a whole nother conversation. But when it comes to SJW shit, I didn't see the video specifically, but I saw the title and the thumbnail of SJW, it didn't say it, but basically the summary of it is SJWs think we should stop glorifying Nazis, and the thumbnail was World at War. In the first Russian single-player video game, this first single-player mission when you're the Russian, Petrenkov, you're literally in a fucking fountain with dead bodies, with Germans executing survivors. Like, Germans... The Wehrmacht,
so glorified.
It's not even the SS.
When they depict them as the
it's not
villains.
okay. You know what? It's not even the SS. The SS were the loyalists to the Nazi regime. The Wehrmacht weren't even loyalists to the whole Nazi regime. They were just
the army.
They were just literally the German army. That's just what they were. And they depicted.
The Wehrmacht still exists.
They depicted the Wehrmacht as literally genocidal maniacs. Just a few survivors left in this field of Russian troops we executed. And then there's a few left because they're smart enough to pretend they're dead. Beside the point. It's just there's that game. There's also Wolfenstein where the Nazis took over the world, but you're literally beating the fuck out of them and killing them and trying to take them over.
Torturing them in some cases.
And do it literally a revolution against them. There's games like fucking Battlefield where there's actually...
They say that they glorify Nazis?
And in Battlefield 5, there's
What
only...
the fuck,
in Battlefield
dude?
5, they were literally blamed for being this SJW fucking game, but they had one mission in the single-player campaign where you can be a German commander of a Tiger tank, and they actually, the people who were outraged against the SJWs actually, they had a counter. They had the whole German aspect. You know what? Fair enough to them because it's just they actually depicted them in a really interesting way. It's just they humanized the whole regime, which is actually weird. Fair point to Dice on that point. I'll give him that. Despite the whole weird, female bionic arm woman in the trailers and shit.
It's a little too much.
Yeah, that was fucking retarded. Absolutely retarded SJW nonsense that I'm talking about.
Women in combat, but only for, aviation, usually.
Actually, the USSR had snipers that were female. They had a bomber regiment, the 566 Night Bomber Regiment.
Were they called the Night Witches or something like that?
They were all female regiment. All females.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking about the fucking
Sabaton song. Night Witches, yep. Sabaton has a whole song about them.
Undetected, unexpected!
Yep.
Something explosive violence!
Yeah, I forgot the lyrics, but it's a good song.
But it's just the fucking percussion and the guitars and the keyboards.
And also the
just
Soviet...
put you in the fucking face!
Yeah.
When you listen to that song. It's awesome.
But also, there was also the Polish Resistance who had females, the French Resistance did. Also in the final days of the German Reich, they conscripted female civilians to fight in the German SS and the army. Literally anything they Like, basically,
In the
at that, it was literally,
downfall.
yeah, it was literally, like, last stand shit. I mean,
When
so
they're just trying
women,
to defend Berlin.
yeah, and also there were, like, female
God.
combat nurses and shit in the U.S. that were,
Well, I knew
that
there
were,
were combat nurses.
yeah,
yes.
so, yes,
they're usually nurses.
So, when it comes to the fact, oh, did females serve in World War II? Yes, but but the whole, like, what DICE did was SJWize it, which, you know what, I don't even care anymore. Battlefield 5 is a game, I don't give a shit, it's fun, I love enjoying it, I play it literally pretty much every fucking night, I love it. At the end of the day, I don't care. It's just like, whatever, it's just like, it's like, they just released the Pacific DLC. Literally, they have 6 different, like, character types that you can have, and 3 of them are female and 3 of them are male for the US and for the Japanese. I don't even give a fuck. I don't even care. I just don't pick them if I don't like it. I don't, Like, it's up to the person themselves.
It's a little inaccurate, but, like, at the same time...
Dude, there's so much inaccuracies about Battlefield 5. I just don't care, because it's just a fun fucking game, It's just fun.
Wolfenstein,
I just hate the people who just get triggered over these it's like,
They're
what?
acting no different from the SJWs,
you know what?
Ironically.
Exactly. And you know what? I understand it. I have the same criticisms. I wish Battlefield 5 was a little bit historically accurate when it comes to cosmetics and when it comes to guns and shit. And you know what? I get it. I do. But it's just like, to make it like this whole quip of why you don't play it and all this shit, it's just retarded. It's just like, if you enjoy the game, if you find it to be fun, regardless of these little cosmetic
At least
quips...
it wasn't as bad as the Call of Duty game, I think, with, like, I think they had another
Call of Duty World War II?
Yeah, it's like, they had a black female, like, fucking...
officer or some shit.
Powers officer.
Yes. And you know
that
what?
Makes no sense.
And you know what? Literally,
that makes no goddamn
and you know
sense.
What? And you want to have heard about Call of Duty World War II as much as Battlefield 5 is? They fixed shit too late. Like, it was literally like a year later that Call of Duty World War II actually got good when it came to that type of shit. Of course, they didn't fix that, but I mean, it's like they try to at least try to make it better because they understood, oh shit, we kind of fucked up. DICE, with Battlefield 5, kind of did the same thing. Like, it's actually kind of fucking, even cosmetic-wise, it's pretty decent so far.
It's like that fucking episode of Family Guy where Cleveland's just a Nazi. A black Nazi? It makes no sense. It's an oxymoron.
Oh my
so
god.
Racist. They thought anybody who wasn't blonde hair or blue-eyed or Germanic was
hold on.
deserving of death.
Carl Rove says we need to play Battlefield 5. I know we do. I know. We should definitely do that at some point. Not tonight because I'm too drunk, but whatever. I bet you that the majority of women playing Battlefield 5 are fur trannies.
Fur trannies.
Okay. I don't deny that might be a possibility, but I also would not confirm the plausibility of that. We need trans representation in Battlefield. Too many white sardines.
What the fuck?
What the fuck, Jimmy? I love you, but I love you, dude. What the fuck? Hey, Nard, did you see the new TOS? Oh, the terms of service. YouTube can delete your channel at any time if you don't make them money.
What the fuck?
Ah, you know what? On my ignorance take, I was wanting to talk about that, but I didn't skim through it prior and then when I was trying to before, like, initially, I just, like, it was too, are you kidding me? I need to...
What? You got the wine right here. Oh, you're just gonna
what?
take a fucking bottle? Holy shit!
Nothing spilled. What?
A little bit spilled.
I beg your pardon? I beg your pardon? I love how Jesse Lee Peterson has no filter. The man is from a different era. A simpler time. I do agree. That's why I love Jesse Lee Peterson. And that's why people like... Can we just talk about Robert for a second? He's fucking nuts.
Oh yeah, I remember you texted me earlier. He's like,
oh my god.
My mom literally just found out that Robert's crazy.
Dude, she literally...
And I
she had the
legitimately
epiphany tonight. She had the epiphany tonight.
Just now.
Yeah. You know what? Dude, she doesn't even know... Dude, she doesn't even know the half... She does not know the half of it because... Dude, he will literally... Like, I don't... Oh my god. I honestly am really like... I mean, it really comes from a voice of concern, but it's just like, dude, you're fucking... Do you even know what's in your own head? Like, I legitimately try to put myself, to the hardest of my abilities, try to put myself into his head and be like, okay, what the fuck is going on in your head? Because, dude, oh my god, I worry. Dude, I'm so scared for him, man. This is like, oh my god. Like, dude, your brain is it's gone. The crack, the fucking I already know you already had something before this. And then the, like, potential all-time. It's like, oh my god, man. It's just like, I feel bad. It's just like, bro. It's just like, you're slowly, like, going nuts and going haymakers, being the... Like, and then he tries to make you think you're nuts, too. It's just like, because he will...
fuck?
Dude, okay, I shit you not. Like, okay, he literally thinks aliens helped the Nazis, even though... Shut up. Please, shut up. Even though they lost the war, and here was my rebuttal. Okay, so why did they lose? Oh, well, I mean, I guess they were caught, and, it must have didn't know something or what. He literally had no answer.
Well, they just lost their incentive. They're like, we changed our mind about helping you in the war.
Dude, because, oh my god,
Look, is that what happened?
I don't know what, like, I don't get it. Like, I'm too, okay, you know what, here's my honest reason why I don't challenge his shit, is because I'm scared of the fucking reaction he will have, because he's so, like, he gets so triggered. He gets so angry and so triggered and so aggressive if you try to challenge anything he says, so you just have to just accept it at face value and just be okay. You can challenge it like for a second, but that's it. Dude. That's it. But beyond that, and honestly, it's with anything. And it's like the slightest challenge, he will just be like, okay, let's fucking go, bitch. And it's just like, whoa. It's just like, oh my god.
You just described my dad.
Dude, but like low key though. I mean, just luckily this guy doesn't have a gun. Because, like, he would, like, honestly, more than anyone else. Like, I mean, but beyond that, it's just like he literally, he has this weird philosophy, because he's a Christian shit, that you cannot kill yourself, but he's literally have tried this multiple different times.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's just like, it's so weird. It's like, dude, you have attempted suicide at least 3 times from the stories you've told me. At least twice, from what I can remember, but I'm sure at least 3. But yet you think that it's just like, dude, what? Do you not understand? Like, even you don't even believe the own fucking religion you even supposedly believe. You just like, do you like, where are you even? Where is your head even? It's just like, it's just like, man, I just like, oh my god. Like, I know he's entertaining, and I know the chat fucking loves him, but oh my god, it is fucking nuts. It's nuts, dude. It's like, holy shit.
You see, it's weird, because it's like, I understand, like, how, like, my dad is descending into madness,
I mean, I know for different reasons, but he is too. Like, I mean, he is just because he's going for this. It's a reciprocal hell. It's the whole reciprocal hell thing,
It's a similar headspace. Maybe not exactly the same, but it's a very similar headspace. Especially all the conspiracy theory shit. Like, he also listens to Clive Lewis. My dad does, and he takes all that shit at face value.
Yeah,
he's even talking to me
basically, like, Robert does the same
whatever
thing.
you do, son, don't ever touch Ouija boards. Like,
oh my
I remember
god,
once he gave me this anecdote about like how a Ouija board basically, like, he has his hand on it and a spirit like fucking pulled his arm.
That's the whole idea of the Ouija board. Is that you don't have control. It just will do it for you. But guess what? It's literally just
probably really slippery.
No, it's literally just the fact that somebody is doing a pull on it, and then everyone just is complicit with the pull, and then they just move it. So then whoever happens to happenstance land on the answer is just what the fuck they think the Ouija board's telling them. It's arbitrary, literal gobbledygook fantasy faggotry, but yet
Fantasy faggotry.
but yet these fucking dimwits and psychos and mentally ill, low IQ motherfuckers think it's literally real. It's the same bitches that think fucking. It's the same ass bitch faggots that think fucking witches are real. That think literal fucking like spirits and demons are possessing people. That fucking the earth is flat. It's just like these same bitch ass motherfuckers are just like, oh my god, like it really does like. When it comes to the whole, like, we should incentivize sterilization, like, I demand a fucking deep state Illuminati government to fucking do forced sterilization, but do it for certain people under just a low fucking IQ, because goddamn, there's some stupid motherfuckers that have, like, crazy mental illnesses that are crazy, that put people on the schizophrenia and shit. Like, poor-ass Brandon and shit. Like, oh my god.
As long as our tax dollars actually benefit us.
Edgy take, but I am hands down doubly down.
As long as our fucking tax dollars actually benefit us with, like, education
exactly.
and healthcare, then I would be all for it.
I'm all for it regardless.
Like, if we could have a fucking economy just like that, as long as the deep state is serving my interests, and I'm a part of it, I'll do it. Fuck yeah. Because, you know, as much as I love democracy, I just think some people are so fucking dumb, they're just not educated enough to actually make the right decisions. If we had a good education system,
that's why I'm okay.
Then I would love democracy, but we need a good education system in order to have a good democracy.
Not to stroke my own cock and, you know, but, like...
I thought that's what you have me for, baby. No. Yeah.
Okay, so...
Stroke your bong.
Like, that's why I'm in favor of a benevolent AI, futuristic utopia type of thing. Like, where humans...
I am a robot.
Where humans
I love you all.
Where humans are not fucking leading us. We're just, you know, like, delved into our own, like, hey, we're going to, you know, do our own aspirations and shit, or do what the fuck we want to do instead, you know, basically. Instead of, like, quibbling over, like, what resources do we need to acquire for exploitation for capitalism? Or, like, oh, what type of culture do we need to eradicate because
I'm afraid
evil?
I cannot let you do that.
It's just
I will
like,
send you out of the room kicking
it's just like, I would I am
little
okay with this, like, this idea of, like, oh, we should have, like, this, like, futuristic utopia of, like, you know, where, like, we have, like, a godlike AI that overwatches and actually can progress us as much as, you know, we are progressing it.
But don't you know it's the Antichrist? It's the Antichrist!
If that's the Antichrist, then I am a Satanist, hands down. I don't give a shit.
Satan,
People can call it whatever the fuck it wants, but I will be in favor of that position. I don't care. They can call it whatever they want. That's why I hate labels. It's like, oh, if they want to call it this or that, satanic, you know, deep state Illuminati, globalist, this or that, Jewish, it's Semitic, anti-Semitic, Nazi, racist, this or that.
What's the, like,
I don't care
Soviet
because so many fucking people are just like, oh, this is racist, this is that, this is this label, this is that label. That I just want to reject labels entirely. Like, I just want to listen to what people have to fucking say with their substance of what they, you know, are talking about. Yeah. You know, it's just like if someone's like, oh, you're just a commie because this is that. It's like, fuck you. Are you even listening to me at that point? Are you just hearing keywords and just, you know, dismissing everything else then? Like, faggot, fuck off. Like, actually, like, listen to what the fuck I'm talking about and actually, like, counter that, you know? Like, like, when it comes to memeing and shit online, that's one thing. But if it's, like, one-on-one with a human being and shit, and then they're coming at me with these strawmans or ad homs or dumb shit or whatever the fuck, it's just like, fuck you, dude. Like, I'm actually trying to have a conversation, and you're just wanting to do this and that or whatever. They're like, you're not intelligent. Fuck off. Like, why are you even trying to have a conversation with me if you're trying, you know, if you want to, like, have a deep political conversation? Because I've had that. I've had it with my own fucking dad before. You know, it's just like, I've had it all with various different people. It's just like, oh, you know, it's like you mentioned something politically. Well, I have an opinion on that. It's just like, oh, well, that's just a blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, why did you fucking mention it then, bitch? Just shut up. It's just like, you know, if you were going to say it out loud and, you know, try to get someone else, you know, enough to where people are going to have a position and opinion on it, then, you know, and you don't want to hear someone else's counter to it, then why are you piping up? You know, it's just like, what? So you can get triggered and then shut them down and then pretend you're all correct and shit and that you're, you know, right. And like, oh, look at me. I shut you down because you're wrong. Fuck. It's like, fuck you.
I'll shut you down by just deflecting
You know?
and not even taking the argument.
Like, on the internet, it's one thing. You know, that's totally another thing, because, you know,
But,
there's...
like, in person,
there
it's
is,
infuriating,
there
yeah.
is, like, a removal of certain aspects of communication that's just like, you know what, it's understandable. Like, you know what, I don't know if you're memeing or not. I don't know if you're being genuine or not.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But when it comes to, like, face-to-face, like, having a conversation when people do that shit, it's like, fuck you! It's like, why? Like, it's just like, if you're, like,
When they use, like various intellectual...
Like, let me actually use a recent example. I haven't even instigated it because I just know that it will lead to it. That I'm talking about. Is that, you know, cause Dad has, like, a fucking sciatica nerve. It's making it hard to walk and shit, right? So, he's talking about, like, oh, healthcare is moving at the speed of government. It's like, oh my god, I just want to talk about how you're so fucking wrong. Because it's so, like, it's not the fact that there's no government, it's the, or government's running it. It's the fact that there's a private mafia health insurance industry that's fucking you over and making you go for these wait lines that you say the government's all doing, you know, that there's in Canada and Europe and shit. Hold on.
Is the thing that's fucking him over.
Yeah! It's just it's just like you're so oblivious to the actual fucking issues, but yet you talk about it and complain about it all the fucking time, and you're like, oh, but if I say something about it, you're gonna shut me down and say I'm wrong, when I'm actually telling you how the issue fucking is, and you're like, no, you're wrong. It's like, oh, fuck you then. It's like, you know what? Then maybe you deserve it then, you stupid shit. Fuck you. It's just like, how are you so oblivious to the actual issues at hand when you don't even understand that, like, that is what is fucking you over. It's just like, you know, oh my god, it's like when 70% of the fucking Americans understand that it is fucking them over, and then there's dumbasses that are oblivious to it, and yet they are being fucked by that same system, that's when I'm just like, I really don't have sympathy. It's like, how in the fuck? Are you so oblivious? It's like, how? How? It's just like, what? Because the Oregon health plan is partially ran by the governmental system, that suddenly it's all government? Oh my god. It's just like, and there's statistics, there's data, there's facts, there's literal objectivity that shows that it's correct. There's literal objective data that shows that. It's just like
sources, like,
yeah, oh my,
like academia,
even literally the Cato Institute and the American Foundation,
government institutes
right wing foundations and think tanks have said universal healthcare will save us money. Like the Cato Institute said it will save us $2 trillion, and then on average, and they're a libertarian institute, by the way, and also there's. On average, it would save us about 14 to 16 trillion. That's the average. And, you know, and some goes about 32 trillion. That's what Bernie Sanders argues. And there's people that'll say 14 to 16, like I was talking about the average. And Cato, a right-wing institute, can't help but argue that it will save 2 trillion. So it's just like, even with, like, the most right-wing data when it comes to this whole universal healthcare plan, it will save us 2 trillion. Like, they can't help but just admit it.
It's gonna save us in the trillions.
And yet there's just dumb fuck politicians because they're just bought by this mafia fucking private industry.
They're probably not even dumb. They're just so selfish and hedonistic.
Well, they're not dumb. They're not, I mean, yeah, you're right. They're not dumb.
They're just so selfish that they don't care that they're fucking over their own voter base or their own constituents in the process. It's more like,
oh, Jerry! Yeah, you're my favorite corporate lobbyist! Yeah, you want to come over and fuck me in the ass? Oh, yeah, Jerry!
Hold on. Tomatis my persona.
Tomatis.
I approve. Ignar is a walking ambulatory cringe factory.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not going to argue against it, but I'm just fuck you either way.
I don't know, like 1 to Chris Chan, how much cringe is he?
Government healthcare, more like communazi pedophilia, 100 times 100 quadrillion omega Satan baby abortion panels.
Oh my god! That should be a fucking death metal album.
Oh my god!
Abortion panels.
Oh my god! I love it. I love it. I love it. If I was in that house, Ignar wouldn't be talking all this shit. He'd be bent over his what? His bed, and I'd be fucking him in the ass.
That's too predictable.
That is later in the night, okay? That is about 2 hours later, alright? Get it right. Jesus. At least be accurate with it.
Yeah,
God damn. Well, I mean 2 hours later, so about 4:30, you know?
4:30.
You know, because I gotta let the bowels move and shit. You know, there's a middle period that you don't want to get it. That wouldn't be pretty. You know, you want the around the 4:30 mark after that is dealt with.
Maybe he's so sick he wants it.
Ignar.
Like
Funny
Pete
thing.
Buttigieg's husband. I don't
funny
know.
thing is, Ignar doesn't know I'm actually Harvey Weinstein. Ooh, even better. Even better. You didn't know that was my favorite type.
At this point, you want anyone to molest you, except for me. You don't want me to molest you.
I don't know.
You don't know.
Ah, no! Ah!
Wait, what? What are you doing?
Look out the temple! No, I'm gonna get raped! Ah!
Well, he's gone. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I'm molesting you. Ah! No. Kidding.
I'm about to bust a greasy in that potted plant. Where's the pot? Oh. What?
That's fucking awesome.
There's no potted plant in sight. What are you talking about? A potted plant?
Actually, I'll be back. Just take a swig.
You'll be back? Where?
Just gotta pee.
Well, fine then. I'll go after you, because I do too now. You reminded me. How dare you? That's what Weinstein did. He busted a nut in a potted plant? Dude. Tyler's tism is on full display. Well, he's drunk. Of course it is. And mine is too. My tism is on full display as well. So, that's okay. Weinstein was such a beast, he busted an oily load in a potted plant and made this bitch bend down with a spoon and eat it. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? Ew. Ew. I mean, it's one thing to just, like, take the load, but with dirt and... Oh, come on. Oh, fuck you, Weinstein. Oh, gross. Oh. I'm gonna smoke a fat bowl because of that. Not as a Jew, however. I respect him as a rapist and a con man. Not as a Jew, however. Wait, what? You respect him as a rapist and a con man, but not as a Jew.
What the fuck? We're still talking about Harvey Weinstein? Or Weinstein? How the fuck you ever pronounce his name? I don't know.
Who cares? That's how. Who cares? That's how. But, excuse me. You killed the last of it. I'm killing this one if
That's fucking good.
If anything ever gets killed, I'm killing it. Look, I would respect him as a con man, not as a rapist, but also not as a Jew, because on the virtue of being a Jew... well, hold on. The caveat is because just because you're Jew does not earn my respect. At the same time, just being Arabic, or being Muslim, or being Christian, or this...
does not earn my contempt.
Whoever... I don't give a shit. Yeah, you don't earn respect. But...
Or contempt, necessarily.
The fact that you are a human being will... Because I at least give some basic human respect, but that's it. That's it. Yeah. If you don't give it to me, then that's when it's revoked. That's when it's revoked, as if it's not returned.
That's
basically it.
Feelings about mankind. I guess most people really have mixed feelings about
yeah, obviously, yeah, because there's so there's so much you can discuss as to why there's mixed feelings. I mean, basically at the end of the day, it's just like, you know what? I just want to at least give.
Historian has been talking about.
I think, yeah. I mean, because honestly, I think everyone to some extent at least gets an idea of like, you know what? If you give me at least some basic common respect, we're gonna be chill. I think everyone to some extent gets that. Regardless of what their position is, even if they're an SJW
what
freak.
Religion you are, as long as you don't try to, like, infringe on other people's individual liberty. Unless you're a fucking Mooney. If you're a fucking Mooney, I will beat you out in the street like a faggot.
What the fuck is a Mooney?
So a Mooney is basically this, it's this thing from this Korean dude. I think his name was, like, Sun Muying a Moon. And
you lost me already.
He founded a church called the Unification Church, which I think started in Korea. And it's basically like this Asian Christianized thing where basically they want both, not only North and South Korea to unify, but also the entire world to unify under a big cult church. And Stephen Hassan, the guy who invented the bite model,
Stephen Hassan Abi?
you know, the psychiatrist? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Nope.
Okay, you're drunker than I am. I need to get on your level.
Yes. Yes. Gotta remember I'm crossfaded, not exactly totally drunk.
But
So.
yeah, that's what the Moonies are. They're a member of that church.
Well,
They're
they
not
sound
cult.
like a cult, just like any other religion / cult. So whatever. They sound like a bunch of nuts, just like
Oh, they
anyone
are.
else.
They're fucking nuts.
Chug, Tyler. Chug. I'll do it.
Whoa. I already
Actually-
chugged quite a bit.
Actually, just a
Or,
little
okay,
bit.
sipped.
There's about a
Gulp.
quarter left in this. Let me finish it off by chugging it.
I'm out of water. Oh. Yeah, it's water.
Is that actually water?
Maybe.
So that's what you were chugging during that whole movie commentary, you faggot. Fuck
Actually,
you
no.
puss bag. You're pussy. Instead of drinking just pure wine and alcohol, you're drinking water? You little puss.
I don't know. I've never had water that's such a good burn.
Pussy.
No. You.
Jimmy
What is-
Sweetie's bed came in the mail today for her birthday.
What is
Aww.
the fucking percentage of the alcohol in this?
I'll show you because you're too blind to understand anything. It is 14%.
Wait,
sir.
where'd you find it?
It was right there, you cunt. Bitch.
Okay, I saw it. Okay.
Got her a new one that's easier to find because she's going blind.
Damn.
She's been going blind for a long time, but that tends to happen with age. Dude, can we talk about Joe Biden? Let's talk about Joe Biden. Can we just talk about how much of a parody motherfucker? I'm gonna just take him by the chain like corn, baby. It's just like, dude.
Corn
like,
Pop was
okay,
a bad
hold
dude.
up. Like, dude, this motherfucker has 23...
Corn Pop was a bad dude. He was a really bad dude.
Joe Biden has 23% on average.
Have him listen to the radio. Play a record.
Joe Biden has 23% in the Democratic National polls. What? Who supports him? Who is supporting Joe Biden? Who supports this motherfucker?
This is why we need to reopen Auschwitz.
Oh my god. I'm walking away.
He always gets set off by that. Whoa, it just got really... Oh, can you
Good.
turn off the light? Actually, that looks kind of cool.
You know what? What does it
Turn
look
that
like in the
off.
camera? Whoa.
That actually looks kind of cool.
Whoa.
All around you.
Am I
the
getting
light
a little
around, it's like-
seductive? Maybe so.
Back to Joe Biden.
It actually looks kind of eerie.
Turn the lights back on because I'm not going to be seductive. Corn Pop should have stayed in the colored section of that public pool. Oh, the trouble could have been avoided because then I wouldn't have to grab that chain to rip it around his neck, that little Corn Pop. Me. I'm Joe Biden, vote for me. I'm the vice president of Obama. Here. Hey,
Joe
where-
Biden opposed
What is
the
this-
desegregation
Hold on,
of
hold on.
buses. Biden.
Where is the stage I'm on? I don't know where the fuck I am. No, did I swear on national television? I don't know. I don't remember. I have Alzheimer's.
Completely incoherent rant that has no fucking relevance to any political policy to be able to help the working class, let alone the poor black people. I just shit my pants.
America needs color control legislation. It already had that, and it didn't really work, and we got rid of it. So, no thank you. No thank you. We need the CCL, bitch. That's what we need. I changed my mind. We need the CCL. We need all the CCL. We need to just regress. Let's just regress back to the traditional age that made America great again. We need to make America great again. Trump is right. Trump 2020. Fuck Bernie. Fuck Yang. Fuck fuck everybody.
No,
Trump
fuck
2020.
Trump. We need Hitler. We need to resurrect Hitler. I can't say that with a straight face.
He had Parkinson's. No, thank you. Trump 2020. Make
Wait,
America
Hitler had
great.
Parkinson's?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Fucking
Anyway.
amazing. Yes.
Anyway. So Trump 2020. We got to make America great again.
And again, and again, and again, and again.
Yeah,
and again.
we have to just make America great again, however many times we need to say it in order to make America great again. Okay? We can say it as much as we want, but we need to. But at the end of the day, it makes America great again. That's all. Trump 2020. Boom. Pretty fucking racist, but I'm not a fascist. Punch fascists.
Oh, let's see. What was I get? Oh.
I agree with
longer.
that, sir. Hitler's head is on the moon, remember? Don't be silly.
Is that an Iron Sky reference?
Hitler had syphilis.
That would not.
I would not be surprised.
It would not surprise me. I mean, okay.
He was in.
How the fuck, though, would he get around the micropenis? It's a fucking micropenis. Dude.
I don't know.
What woman wants
Hitler's
to fuck?
neuromuscular degeneration was from syphilis.
Also, the madness. I was gonna make a Joe Biden joke. Oh, yeah, I was like, oh, Bernie might have wrote the damn bill, but I just soiled in my pants. Oh.
I better go get my privatized healthcare. Oh shit! I went bankrupt.
Oh no! I was talking about corn pop. Oh.
Hitler was a Nordic
trying to
alien
get into the
from
toilet.
under
I just corn popped in my pants. Ah.
Hitler was an alien from under the flat Earth.
You have beautiful eyes.
Robert once said that Eisenhower had NASA fly Hitler's head upon the moon and nuke it so that the globalists wouldn't resurrect him.
What the fuck?
Okay, Robert, okay, look. I have been around Robert long enough to know that if he would have said that or not.
That was really good, though. That was hilarious.
Look, I've been around. Look, okay, that's clever. That's clever. And you know what? I almost bought it. But I've been around Robert long enough to know that he has not said that yet. Yet. That's the caveat, is yet, okay? That's the caveat. That's the caveat. The caveat is yet. The caveat is yet. But he has not said it. Yet. Okay? He has not said it, but I know for a fact he may or may not say it. There's the caveat that he may do that. I wouldn't be surprised.
Say that again. Say that again.
Robert once said that Eisenhower had NASA fly Hitler's head upon the moon and nuke it so that the globalists couldn't resurrect him.
Oh, God.
I'm trying to... Shut the fuck up! I'm trying to control myself. Goddamn, no! Shut up! No! Get out of here! Just leave! Just leave! Never return! Just leave!
Whoa, shit, dude!
Just stop!
It's so
Just
good. Oh,
Just-
man. Comedy might be subjective, but if you told that joke in front of a live crowd, there wouldn't be a single dry eye in the room. Oh man. Oh man. That's good. Oh. You'd be lucky if they didn't fucking die from asphyxiation. Oh man. That was good. You better patent that before somebody steals it. There's some fucking no talent hack like Carlos Mencia. I am micro penis. I got no dick, man.
Shut up! Oh my god. I'm trying so hard to control myself and it's so hard. Oh my god. Oh my god, my hair is just falling out of my hair tie.
I love this.
What are you doing? Stop! Stop it, you whore! Fuck you.
You can do Morse code.
I saw Eisenhower also warned Americans of the dangers of the Congressional Military Zionist Industrial Complex. Wait, what? Hold on. Eisenhower also warned Americans of the dangers of the Congressional Military Zionist Industrial Complex. He definitely did. He definitely did do that.
It's so squeaky.
Would you just stop? Okay, I'm about to fucking beat you, dude. I want to beat your ass, bro. Holy shit, just stop! I'm trying to have a conversation, you're just doing it. Oh my gosh. Look, I actually got fucking triggered for a second. I actually did for a minute. I need to fix my hair. Hold on. It's getting too wild. It's getting everywhere. I want to fix it. Okay. I mean, I don't know if Eisenhower specifically called it the Congressional Military Zionist Industrial Complex, but I do tend to agree. His last speech before leaving office. Yep. We should, like, that should be played in fucking middle school and high school every year. Like, from 6th to 12th grade onward, that should be played to every student, like, 12 times, at least, like, once a day. To let them understand the fascistic, imperialistic, colonialistic, capitalistic evil of the military-industrial complex. It must be defeated.
Also Christianity.
With
And
Blackwater,
Judaism.
I mean, dude, the CEO of Blackwater is literally a fundamentalist Christian. Like, that guy needs to. Oh my god, that
is he a Dominionist?
I don't.
There's a denomination.
What the literal fuck is a Dominionist?
So it's a
Elaborate.
denomination of Christianity that actually
Floor is yours.
embraces. So
Go for it.
It's a denomination of Christianity that actually embraces. It actually contradicts one of the quotes that Jesus said. You know.
Go for it.
You know, like it's easier for a camel to, you know, to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to go to heaven. So basically, Dominionists are those who embrace
prosperity
the
preachers,
power
basically.
dynamic. Yeah, the prosperity preachers, and not only that, but they also embrace the power dynamic of more money in this, you know, this society means more power. And if you have the power, you also have, you know, the ability to influence people to join, you know, with the spiritual war with Christ to fight the devil. You know, that's
that sounds like mysticism is. That sounds like a lot of. That sounds like
also the same.
Well, wait, hold on.
Denomination of Mike Pence too.
That sounds like religion.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That ain't nothing new.
You know what? Like, honestly, I had an epiphany. I was listening to Destiny on the Big Brain podcast. It's called with Minds TV. That's the guy who hosts it. It's actually a fun little podcast. You should check it out. I could probably share a link or two. And there's that one point where there's religion that was discussed, and there's some guy who was agnostic who was like an atheist, but then became agnostic. But I don't. It was so confusing. But then someone in the comments was just like, you know what? Fuck this whole agnostic, you know, shit. It's just like, you know, if you don't believe, you just don't happen to believe at that current time, and it's just like you're an atheist at that point. And I'm like, yeah, sounds about right. And it's just like, if you happen to change your mind at any point in time in the future, then you change your mind, and that's when you change your position. Blah, blah, blah. It's just like, yeah, that also tends to be a good point. And it's just like, yeah, agnosticism sounds like a weird pussy way of saying you're just an atheist at a point. You know, and I was just like,
in some ways that's
kind of, you know, because I
true.
used to call myself an agnostic atheist, because at the end of the day, I don't really know. But if I have the position of like, nope, don't believe, nope, it's just like, well, then I kind of have the position of like, yeah, I know to some extent that shit don't exist.
I'm in a weird position because part of me believes that there are some primal, you know, forces in nature that have some level of consciousness, but only to the extent that, like, they do basic rudimentary things that involve, you know, the
well, I guess I mean,
forces of nature, like you know,
all right,
like
well,
the Gaia hypothesis. So it's kind of like.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, because I mean, obviously, I come from. I mean, I'm gonna obviously.
Form of
yeah, because I'm
not omnipotent by the way.
Yeah, because
so
I mean, I come from a different.
I'm still pagan in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, well, hold on, yeah, because I come from obviously different positions, so I guess you know, obviously, I'm probably gonna be challenging this into every step of the way, but you know,
Richard Dawkins challenged the Gaia hypothesis. I think it actually, in the scientific community, they actually found that some of the things were actually proven to be true, like the fact that, like, the Gaia hypothesis, what it basically is it argues that the Earth is its own self-regulatory system, you know, that tries to, you know, do the best it can to keep itself going.
And with that point, I mean, contained. And to that point, I'm kind of mixed, because to some extent it is, but I don't think it's knowingly doing that. I think it's just natural to just how it reacts to itself.
Oh yeah, but do you think an animal knowingly tries to preserve itself, tries to devour?
I mean, in its as an individualistic self, yes, but like it depends on the creature too, because some act in a hive mind sense, like insects. Yeah, so I mean, to some extent, yes, but to various degrees, no.
That's why I think there are various levels of consciousness.
Well, obviously,
and, you know, like, and I think that's probably Earth is, or I guess Gaia, if you want to call it Gaia. Not very many people call it that, but I think really that is sort of what I think Earth kind of is. It's basically the most
well, hold on before you elaborate.
Basic form of consciousness.
Someone in chat, ignore, let your hair down.
Ooh.
Fine, then you let the faggot.
I've been doing it far ahead of you did.
Well, whatever.
Okay,
mine is more.
Totally
mine is prettier. Mine is prettier. You can't deny. Okay.
I washed my hair today too. Then again, I don't really brush it as often, so.
I do that constantly. I did it so much before you even showed
more
it.
Scandinavian than I am. Because Vikings were so obsessed.
But yeah.
With combing their hair. I must comb my hair. I just killed a Saxon and I have blood all over my hair. I have to clean it. Oh, gross. Saxon blood. And I have to brush my hair.
So, I mean, at least from your perspective, what's your position of, like, the whole Gaia hypothesis, essentially,
I think partially it would be true. Now, to think that, like, Earth is probably an organism, I think there still needs to be more that's explained, because I know.
Yeah, because I don't. Yeah, because for me,
because I might be wrong, and I will accept that I'm wrong, because really, there's a lot of room. It's still to this day, 90% of the oceans are still left unexplored.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't think the Earth in itself is an organism. I think it's just a big rock ball that life inhabits.
The case.
Yeah, that's. I mean, pretty much what everything so far shows us. That's pretty much what it is.
But I do know that there are actual organisms that have trees that grow from them, and they're basically all one giant organism. Some of them as big as, you know, like an entire country. Like, you know, or an entire state.
Well, like, kind of like fungi. They do. I mean, there's literally fungus
trees grow from them, so they're an entire
root. There's also trees. I mean, you can look at big forests and show how they can kind of intertwine and connect.
A very rudimentary sense.
I think it's just I think it's just how life has a symbiotic relationship within itself.
It could be that maybe our planet does, and
let me interject a little, because. You know, because you see this, and for my introduction, I think to kind of help, at least to some extent, enforce it to some extent, I guess for a more scientific benefit, because with, you see symbiotic relationships, even with ocean life,
that's true.
Like, there will be sharks that will have just tiny little fish that would just, like, you know, just hang around, like, on the bellies, just literally eating off random shit that obviously, because they're ocean life, they can't reach, to things that they can't, to clean their skin.
Can you help me clean me up?
Basically, I mean, it's a symbiotic relation, because, these belly feeders will feed off, like, the bellies and the skins off the sharks and shit, and the sharks are just,
we kind of participate
and also with our own life, with us as humans.
We have dogs, that's a symbiotic relationship.
And also, in our own selves. There is unique
Cells.
there's
Yeah.
there's unique bacteria just to us that is symbiotic with us. I mean, so
Oh yeah.
that wouldn't work with other, like if my gut bacteria went inside of yours, it would be a fucking war, raging
that's
inside
true.
your body, and it would be a fucking
They're all like
disaster.
nations or worlds, basically. Which is why I think it further gives the argument for aliens, because really we are probably microbes to a whole different body, and then like that planet is also a cell to another body.
Wait, what?
So, oh my god! So
I'm sorry. I'm so
we are
sorry.
I believe that we are the microcosm of the planet that we live on.
Well, yeah. I
and
mean,
also the microcosm of the universe
even on a
itself.
cosmic perspective, we're a microcosm amongst, uniquely, like in a very strange way, a very chaotic order, amongst the cosmos. I mean, we're like a very
And I think that
tiny
there
microcosm in comparison.
Probably like gods bigger and greater than we could possibly imagine, that likely either
Bacteria spores,
delegate
yeah.
together or that actually war against each other over certain aspects of the cosmos.
I mean, I think, I think this kind of teeters into the whole point that I think there's certain aspects of life that just have, like, an innate war aspect of itself.
Well,
which is
all we
why,
know-
like, humans
oh,
can't, adapt from this whole, like, continuous, like,
It's for
war
the
mentality.
whole innate sense of self-preservation. It kind
Yeah.
of it
Which is
kind of
so
fucked
fucking
us
weird.
over, in the
It's fucking-
in the long
yeah.
term,
It's so
unless we let
weird.
go of it.
I know, it's
Because
so
it
weird. It's like
served
we
us
have
in
to
our
adapt
early
this
days.
mentality that we're talking about into a new way. Because,
Yeah.
like, the way it is adapted right now is a very capitalistic mindset of, like, let's think about the short-term, arbitrary monetary gain of it. And, fuck everything else. I mean, obviously, long-term, it just won't work, So it's just like, like...
This is true.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, which shows, like, the technological evolutionary aspect to it, too. Which is, like, now, like, our species of life, evolutionary has to either evolve or just basically kind of kill itself, or reset itself or whatever. Apoptosis to some extent.
Oh yeah.
To just, like, let's, like, restart ourselves to try and do something better or actually try to,
Which is
change
kind
shit.
of, see, this kind of like leads me to the same way. So, to a similar idea, I honestly think that, like, not only are we the microcosm of our planet, but I think our planet is also the microcosm of perhaps another organism that we don't know about and that we're actually part of. Like...
I mean, I guess that's where I disagree. I mean, like,
Okay.
we're not, like, a part of another organism. We're just part of the whole grand aspect of the universe, really, in our own galaxy. I mean, it's not...
as far as we can perceive it.
I mean, I guess that's where... I mean, that's pretty much, I guess, where the gotcha is. It's just like, from how we perceive it, it's just how it is, but...
Yeah.
I mean, because, like, because I've seen cartoons and shit where it's just like, oh, there's a universe literally on, like, every cell and shit, which kind of goes into the whole multiverse theory, too, as well. I mean, at this point, that's just all theory, really, at this point, really. I mean, because I said really a lot.
Oh.
But, like, I mean, it's just because, we only can perceive the universe from our own perception and just kind of, like, collectively organize all of our information into, what is science at this point, So, it's just like, I don't know. I mean, it's such a complex thing about the whole cosmos shit. I mean, I guess for me, this is where, like, the pragmatist comes out of me and where the Stefan in me, I guess, comes out. The Stefanism of
Right.
it's like, it's like whatever evidence we have is just like, it's like, well, I mean, that's what we can go off of, and it's not... And
That's all we can go off.
yeah, I mean, and for me at least, there's no real reason.
now.
Yeah, I mean, for me at least, there's no real reason to, like, be like, oh, let's, I mean, oh, this might be it, even though there's no real substantial thing for it. Like, I mean, just, which is like the whole, like, I mean, because seeing, like, the Earth in itself as, like, an organism in it itself, regardless of the other life, is just where it's just like I have a big question mark and red flag. It's just like because how it
there
does.
is a question mark for that.
Because I mean, at that point, it's just like then what is life defined as? Because it's like if Earth is life in itself, then what is every just random rock and moon at that point life? Because like that's kind of what Earth is if you look at the core of just what it is. If you take life in itself out of it, it's just like a carbon based rock, really, that has an
Yeah.
atmosphere that is able to habituate life and shit. Obviously, because we're on it. But like, I mean, there's plenty of other planets that have similar standpoints and shit. So it's just like, are those planets alive then at that point? Are they organic? I mean, then it's just like, then how do these, then at that point, then it's just like, how do these organic things survive? Is it literally like, basically are these things like plants at that point? Like, do they literally like live off the sun and shit? Because that's how plants survive,
Oh yeah, and they have to be in the Goldilocks zone too. But then again,
I mean, yeah.
Depending on like the size and also the the gravity of the solar system itself, what if the Goldilocks zone for every planet is different? It would have to be.
It would, because it depends on the star. I mean, because our star
depends
is
on how great
our
the star is,
because our planet is
how
unique.
much impression
I mean,
because
our star is unique to our part of the solar system as much as Betelgeuse is to its part of the solar system, as every other star. I mean, and there's and every planet has a different, and every star has a different Goldilocks zone, and there's different planets and different types of planets that habituate these things.
I mean, there have to be there. Like, I'm sure, I believe, and I think I would be proven right if we found another planet with life on it.
Oh,
Like,
I'm sure
there
there's
has to be.
Honestly, I think that's in our own fucking solar system. Look at Europa. Like, Europa is like an ice moon. But underneath all that ice is an ocean.
Really,
it's an ocean. And honestly, if we investigated that ocean, I guarantee you there's probably micro-life. I wouldn't say sentient life like us or any other life like a dog or something.
Not,
but just like micro-life. Like bacterial-style, algae-like life and shit. I mean, that would be something we would potentially see. And that would be a gigantic stepping stone in how we understand the universe in itself. And just looking at our own solar system alone, it's just, and that shows how much we really do. Yeah, and it also shows how much we don't understand the universe, and that's like, I think the main. And this, I think this is where religion and I think this is like where I severely differ between people who are more religious and not. Is that I'm okay with knowing that humans, and me especially, don't know everything about what's up with life. Like, I don't know why I'm fucking here. I don't know why, like, shit I'm seeing is the way it is. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna know, and honestly, I don't fucking care. It's interesting. It's cool. Like, I'm gonna enjoy it as I am. I'm gonna, like, continue, I'm going along for the whole fucking ride at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just like, I mean, which I guess is kind of the whole heart of my whole nihilist perspective. It's just like, I'm in for the ride, like, at the end of the day, it really does seem pretty meaningless, but I'm gonna make something out of it. Fuck it. That's kind of the whole premise of it, and, like, that's, I think, the whole major difference, at least philosophically, between it. It's just because it's like, we can try to speculate, like, whether, like, how we define life as, because, I mean, there's even different types of life that could potentially be around, like silicon-based life and shit. Like, I mean, there could probably be iron-based life for all we know. I mean, there's different types of life that could potentially be out there. I mean, how we define it is just based on what we know of as is right now. I mean, so there's definitely plenty of shit we don't understand about our own universe. I mean, but I'm okay with it. The more we learn over time, I just find even more fucking fascinating. And just be like, whoa, that's a trip. Whoa, that's cool. Holy shit, dark matter's the thing? What? It's just like, holy shit, that's probably even around us right now, It's just like, even though it's, like, there's even galaxies that are mostly dark matter shit, it's probably around us even too, It's just like very microcosmic.
In some pagan mythology, it actually gives the idea that not all gods actually created things, because, like, the gods are actually created by other forces that were primordial, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how, like, in the Greek mythology, the darkness of chaos is basically, like, all these things that, like, they change form constantly, and then out of that, you had Uranus and then Gaia. So it seems like, you have these series of stars or solar systems, and then you had, our planet, Gaia. And then, like, from that, it somehow harbored life from maybe the planet coming to the Goldilocks zone.
Yeah.
And then as a result, many children came about. You had the Hecatoncheires, which are basically 100-handed, many-headed monsters. I mean, obviously, the Greeks...
They were very, creative.
They knew that fire was in other parts, beyond our planet. They knew that, and they also knew the Earth was round.
Yeah.
They were far ahead of our time as far as that went.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can, like, look through mathematicians, scientists, and philosophers from the Greek eras, and just, like, I mean, there's so many... Like, there's some homeless guy that was a major philosopher that we look back at, to Diogenes. Yeah. I mean, like, for fuck's sake, just even, like, the homeless of Greece were fucking, like, masterminds in our age, you know? So it's like, for fuck's sake, like, I mean...
He was quite reviled in some parts of his time, but
at the time, people reviled him at this time. But yes, we look back at him now. Yes,
but also nowadays, many people would also be opposed to his ideology.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fairly cynical, you know, because I inherited from my mother.
Yeah, yeah, I inherited from my dad.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah, yes,
cynicism is actually a good thing.
Yeah, that's why I consider myself a cynic.
You know, and really, when you're calling yourself a cynic, you're actually calling yourself a dog. I'm a fucking dog.
Well, yeah, because in Greek, cynic
is ancient Greek for dog.
Yep,
yes.
Yeah.
Because that's what they called Diogenes. Like, you live like a dog. You're a dog. You're eating from the trash.
Hence,
and you have only one dog, and you don't even have a cup to drink water with.
Even philosophically, he thought dogs were better than humans. To some extent, he appreciated being around them more than humans.
The true cynic doesn't, like, you know, they try to reject as many superficial things as they possibly can do.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I like to do. I mean, being autistic, the superficial never really smiled at me that much. I wasn't favored by anything superficial.
Oh yeah, same.
So you know, I would be,
Besides
just be talking to somebody.
Mom.
And they go, "Oh, shut up! You like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Get away from me!"
Well, I think the boundary between organic life and non-life is more arbitrary than it should be. I define it as self-replicating patterns of matter. Stars self-replicate; they have a cycle, grow, etc. Yeah,
that's true.
I think when it comes to that aspect, I do agree with it. And I think, to some aspects...
Black holes do as well.
I mean, yeah, to some aspects, I think stars do obviously share aspects of life. And I think, I think it is fair to say that, they are lively to some extent.
See, I
remember the solar eclipse, like, when you remember those solar flares that we saw, like, when it was, like, peak eclipse and shit? Like, that is the sun being fucking lively, being active, and being, it's expulsing energy, and a part of life is energy and shit. It's just like, I mean, it obviously has characteristics of being lively, so, I mean, I think, obviously it doesn't have a conscience, and it's not self-aware, and...
As far as we know, no.
I mean, I don't even think it would be, period, because there's nothing really inherent about it that would say otherwise. So, I mean, It's just everything. It's just in it itself. It's just a ball of energy and live. I mean, I think it is fair to some extent to categorize it to some extent, because I think there's at least categories of life. Obviously, we can see it within our own, with mammals, of plants, and shit. So I mean, it's pretty fair to say I think there is categories of it. Ancient Greek. Alexander the Great came to Sinope to meet Diogenes, and he admired his work. He asked Diogenes, "Is there anything I can do for you?" And he said, "Get out of my way.
Move out of the way. You're blocking the sun."
Ancient Greek word sin came from the same etymological root as canine.
Yep.
Yeah,
this is true.
I'm gonna take a piss really quick, but
which is why
you all enjoy your shit.
Dogism. You're a fucking dog if you're a cynic.
Taking a piss.
So if you're cynical, you're really more dog-like.
Oh, the door's locked. That would help. If it was unlocked.
But yeah, just way to prove my point too. Kine, yeah. Yeah, this is true. This much is true about Diogenes. Yep, I heard the same thing too, like, he's living in a barrel too. I forgot which city he lived in though. But yeah, this is true. Alexander actually visited him, and, because he grew up with, with a clay tablet of the Iliad, and, and many works by Aristotle. So not only was he military mastermind, and a general, and also the Prince of Macedon, but at the same time, it's like he understood the importance of education, of literacy, and of also was a huge admirer of philosophers, and yeah, it's just hilarious, like how Diogenes. There couldn't be a more interesting time to be alive with Trump and all. I suppose it is fairly interesting. Japan's last veteran Zero pilot just died. Oh, damn. Wow. But yeah. I mean, it's hilarious. With not that. That's not funny, necessarily. I mean, mortality is mortality. We all accept
Or you
it.
stole my seat. That's okay. I'll just take this one.
Yes, I did. Yes. But yeah, like...
Japan's last veteran Zero just died. That's sad. That's actually kind of sad, because I kind of respect World War II vets, regardless of their nationality or allegiance. That's just me.
Because at the end of the day, it's like they weren't really forced to, like they didn't, probably, some of them probably didn't even believe in, what are you doing?
You were saying? Hey, what are you doing? You were saying?
I mean, some of them were probably not even, like, in the same headspace as many of the people who recruited them. They're just like, oh, well, I'm fighting for my country. Or many of them were just drafted.
You fail. You're not even really hitting me that much.
I don't want to bonk you on accident.
I can actually get you, because I could feel it and hear it, but you're not even hitting me right. Ugh. Stop. Ugh.
I got you that
Do you like
time.
Electric Wizard?
Is that one of the doom metal bands?
I think so. I don't remember. I'm at that moment in time right now. I don't remember.
Damn.
Yep. Damn. I got a lot of keep right now, though. So that's a good sign. If anything.
You know what's weird? Is that there are actually some Celtic myths that that actually reflect a pretty accurate depiction of how the Earth was made.
Explain.
So basically, they believed that the world was nothing but fire and brimstone.
Well, that's kind of accurate to how the Earth first was formated.
Yeah. And then eventually it cooled.
Yep.
And, of course, this is where it gets a little weird. So, like, then Danu, which is basically the personification of water. She's the goddess of water.
So basically when the comets started, like, smacking down on Earth and formating rock... Yeah, okay. So basically that's their excuse for it.
The biogenesis, I guess. So
basically, I guess,
And
yes.
then, I guess... I feel like Bill... Or...
Bill.
Bill. I think it's Bill. Bill. That's... Yeah. So basically, Bill is personified as a great oak tree. Like a giant fucking oak tree. You know, so it's very similar to Yggdrasil in that regard.
Oh, he's talking about some Japanese shit. He's talking about them Japs.
Looks like he's talking about, like, doom metal, really. But as I was saying, so that, at least for the Irish Celtic myth, so, like, actually, every Celtic myth agrees to a big oak tree.
Yeah.
And then from these oak trees, you have acorns that come and spring from the oak tree. So it's probably talking about the Cambrian explosion, most likely. It's like one big fucking organism, and like all these organisms basically like, spring from them.
Whoa.
And then, like you have, this is a little weird, but that's only because her name is Irish. You have Brigid, and then you have, what's his name? God damn it. There's some god. Oma. That's it.
Oma.
Or Ogma. Oma.
Ogma.
But...
Dogmatic Ogma.
But I think it's actually Oma.
That should be an album.
So Oma, and Brigid, they have children of their own because they're gods.
Giggity.
Incest is okay because they don't fuck up the
none
genetics.
of those genetic things attribute because incest
And they
is
came
okay,
from-
which
they
says a
came
lot
from,
about their society.
Oh, fuck you! Fuck you! You're also part Celtic, so eat a dick.
A quarter Celtic, fuck you. I'm
That's
not
still
that
pretty Celtic. That's still pretty fucking Celtic, bro. A quarter Celtic. That's pretty big. That's a chunk. That's a chunk.
Don't
on your
poke my
genome.
cheek, you little whore.
Okay, I'll poke your shoulder.
No, that's groping my shoulder, Bill Cosby. No.
Put the Quaaludes in the Jello and you watch them drop like flies.
You mean in my bone?
And then you touch their pussy.
Well, not a pussy this time, boy.
Uh,
Unless it's a bullet pussy looking bad.
no. But okay, as
You were
I was
saying? Yeah, you were
um,
saying? I'm gonna smoke weed, so you know
so-
I'm gonna be silent, okay? Continue.
So, you have the beginning of that, and then eventually what you have is, Bridget and Oma having many kids, and, with these kids, they found these cities. And they're on, this river. This big fucking river. And you know what's interesting? There's a river in Central Europe. It actually goes not only through Eastern Europe, but also through parts of Germany, and also through parts of France. You know what it's called? The Danube River.
Yeah. I was
Danube
about to
River.
take the guess. It was either like the Danube or the Danube River, yeah.
Yeah,
One of the two.
the Danube River. So that, you already see the parallels in that, too.
I mean,
So-
I'll give them credit. At least they try to keep it somewhat metaphorical to reality.
And then they found these 4 cities. I forgot exactly what
Unintentional
they're
or
all called. I think one of them was called Gorius, the other one is called Forius, and I forgot the names of the other cities. But basically, something comes up, and they're forced to migrate to the west, which is very indicative to the history of the Celts. They migrated west.
To those isles, man.
To the British Isles and then to Ireland. So this is all making sense. And then not only that, but with every myth, they kind of have the same thing going on. They have this race of divine gods. It's also weird. That the Celts they also have this race of gods or this tribe of gods that's not only descended from Danu, but also another one that comes from the Great North.
Yeah, not to totally pivot, but it just seems like all these religions, even pagan, are just based off just how they eventually got to where they were.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you really think about it, because
It's a very...
I have the prose set, and from my memory, I mean, because I haven't read it in a while.
It's a very vague... So some of it has a grain of truth.
I mean, obviously.
Tiny grain of truth.
I mean, there's even some shit in Norse mythology I've seen some grains of truth.
But through
in.
oral tales,
grains.
you get it
Even in the Bible, there's tiny, tiny, tiny fragments of grains, but it's just overshadowed by just mounds of
the culture
bullshit.
and the telephone game kind of distort everything.
It's
and
like a
embellish
diamond
everything.
in a pile of shit. And it's literally in
It's a diamond
dead
in the
center.
rough.
Yeah.
So far, it's with the Celtic myths, you kind of have more that's you have more truth of anything, and it just describes not only a possible prediction of where all life originated,
Yeah.
but also from the history of the Celts themselves. And then not only you have this big war between the Tuatha, the Danann, which are basically in a translation it means the tribe of the children of Danu. And then you have the Fomorians, which were a race of giants that lived in the Tuatha, the Danann. They won, kicked their asses, and then those guys were banished into the caves.
I just kind of had a mild...
bogs.
I just kind of had a mild epiphany. I just kind of realized, a lot of different pagan beliefs have, giants in them.
Well, even the Bible has giants.
I mean...
Every single world religion is giants.
Yeah, I kind of figure... I'm kind of because obviously scientifically there's Gigantopithecus. I'm just wondering, is this kind of the metaphorical thing of that? Or...
Could be.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember, the evolutionary... Because I think they were even before Homo erectus, even. But I'm trying to remember
How tall
that.
were they?
Well, Gigantopithecus evidently pretty fucking tall. But, I'm trying to... Fuck. I'm trying to remember, but it's hard right now. But does Robert have one of his phones out here?
It's really weird. There's also a
Yes,
myth.
he does. Sweet, I can look it up.
So there's also a myth, specifically. So the god Lu, actually, he's like the sun god.
Yeah.
So and it's actually really similar to the myth of David and Goliath. I don't know if the Catholics basically drew this similarity, or because I know the Celts, they used slings too.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like proven historically as a fact. The Celts used slings even in pre-Christian times, but like I think most ancient societies did. But it tells the story of like how Lu basically defeated Balor, but like Balor, like you think Goliath is badass? No, Goliath is a little bitch compared to Balor. Balor with his one big fucking burning eye can literally just like immolate anything that he looks at. So, and not only that, but like he's so big, a bunch of druids had to and a bunch of men had to lift up his eye and open it in order to actually it's
So-
basically this giant laser that just burns everything that it looks at.
So, Okay, so kind of going back to the point I was talking about earlier, Gigantopithecus may have become extinct approximately 100,000 years ago because of the climate change during the Pleistocene era from the plants forest to savanna, and their food supply fruits decreased. The Gigantopithecus did not eat the grass, roots, and leaves that were dominated food resources in the savanna. So basically, pretty much from what I'm getting at is, yes, they were in the timeline of Homo erectus, Neanderthals, and early hominids, like Homo sapiens and shit, like early Homo sapiens. Anyway, let me look up Homo sapiens real quick.
Well, how tall were the Gigantopithecus? Does it say?
And let me go back because I can go figure that out. Taxonomy.
So
I'll look that up. Hold on.
yeah, so you got.
I'll kind of blurb out when I find it.
So, yeah, Balor, that's basically him. He just has his big fucking laser eyes. He's like Cyclops from X-Men, but more badass. So, and he's like one of the big chief, bosses of the Fomorians, he's a big fucking deal. But Lu just takes a fucking sling, or I think some of them also say that he took a spear or a javelin. But most of them say sling. It could have been because the Irish monks wrote it down, and they said it was a sling, so they compared him to David, probably. But basically, he hit him in the eye, and that defeated him. It also said that, the fire was poisonous. So, the fire actually polluted and destroyed things in the process. So I don't know what could that be.
So, the Gigantopithecus, not to totally, deflect, but it was standing up to 3 meters, 9.8 feet. Weighed as much as 540 to 600 kilograms. Speculatively, of course. Although some argue that it's more
about
likely
9 feet tall.
So, and also, although some also argue
Holy
that it's
shit.
more likely that they were much smaller, roughly 1.8 to 2 meters, 5.9 to 6 feet tall in height. But honestly, considering a lot of the cast of shit, most argue it's more likely average was 3 meters.
So about 9 feet.
About, give or take. So, yeah. So I would say, I would say that a lot of these, belief systems, even with the whole flood idea, think about the Ice Age ending. That is a lot of fucking ice melting and shit, right? That, to humans and to very primitive life, that would be like, oh shit, everything's flooding! The world is flooding as we know it! Because they don't know, they can't imagine themselves on the whole broader scheme of the planet like we can. So they're like, oh, well... to us, it's like, oh, well, yeah, we know that...
As far as we can perceive it, the whole world is flooding, but it's probably not the whole world.
Obviously, yeah. Because if you look at the whole broader scheme of things, yeah, the world is flooding, but it's not, literally flooding to, 90%.
There's actually a Celtic myth about a flood, and it's really
just
fucking
like in
badass.
the Bible, it literally everywhere.
But no, it's 10 times as badass as the Bible and even the fucking Sumerian ones. So basically what happens... is this big fucking giant. Like, he's bigger than you could have even possibly imagined. What happens is, you know, he's kind of tired. He's really tired, so, like, he just kind of lays his head, and it kills too many things. And basically what happens is the whole world just, like, floods in all this blood.
That is amazing.
It's fucking hilarious. Just like, oh shit, I'm so sorry, man. Oh no.
I just like flooded the world of your blood. Oh no.
Oh, my hair is red.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'm a ginger.
I'm a ginger now.
But yeah, so I mean,
I keep dropping shit. What the fuck?
so yeah, big fucking war. They kicked the Fomorians' asses, and you know, a bunch of other things that are not really like relevant to the what I'm just trying to get as the whole picture. But also there are other myths about like certain Celtic heroes.
Mm-hmm.
They go into this you know, these realms called the Otherworld, and here's the weird part. Some parts of the Otherworld have this time dilation where you could be in there for what seems like an eternity, and it seems like just 1 second. And then sometimes it's actually the other way around. 1 second and an entire eternity passes when you're back home. So when you go back home, you turn to dust. So it's like there are these variable things. So it's like it's almost like a portal to like a different world or like a different planet that like gets you.
Sounds like a DMT trip.
It could be, yeah. I don't know,
dude. I'm
not trying to be ancient
DMT
aliens
so bad. I want DMT.
But there are more Celtic.
DMT.
There are more Celtic myths out there that actually give the argument that the longer you spend in the other world, the more time will pass in the world you came from, which kind of sounds like
you being too sober.
It sounds, well, no.
Yes.
It kind of sounds like interstellar travel. You know what I mean? Like, you know how like, you know, you're out in space, and you age significantly more slowly than, you know, by the time you get back.
Dude, this sounds awesome. I mean, honestly, when you think about that, like, I mean, actually, they even have this with, like some evidence with this with some twins, like identical twins. Like, they were pretty much born pretty much near the same time, but both of them were astronauts, but one of them actually went to space and the other one didn't. And the other one actually shown to age less than the other because of the fact that one was in space and the other one wasn't. I think the one that was in space aged less because the fact that this Earth's orbit was going around faster than the other.
Which proves Einstein's theory of, like, time...
equals MC².
Yeah, well, not only that, but, like, the fabric of space and time bends
time is a fabric.
by the mass and the impression that the planet has.
Honestly, I was thinking about this earlier this week, and honestly, you don't think about it initially, but when you start actually discussing these type of ideas, you really start.
Which is also why I think.
And you put it into. I mean, sorry, but like, but
November. Fuck that.
But when you put it into perspective, of, like, you know, because this week when I was at work this Sunday, last Sunday actually, this Sunday, this last Sunday, literally, when I went to work, I had to go to work 3, right? So 3 o'clock to literally 8 o'clock felt like 10 fucking hours. It was the longest 6 hours ever. I swear to God.
Damn.
Yeah. And then once 8 o'clock hit, boom! 10 o'clock was like to me, felt like an hour. Like, because perception of time not only changes because of how long we exist on the fabric of time and shit, but because time is a fabric. Because when you put the Earth's orbit and all that, and its relation to the sun has has an effect on this, and it's very very microcosmic, you know, in perspective of things. But to us, as just very finite, very minute, you know, having a glimmer for only like a second in comparison to everything going on, you know, just kind of having this effect.
It's like a millisecond.
Yeah, like, you know, like in comparison to, like, you know, to Robert, I'm sure his day I'm sure for Robert, for example, or for my dad, or, yeah, like that, goes like that. for me, you know, for us, really, because, you know, we're peers and shit, it's just that it goes on for a little longer. And sometimes it'll go quick, you know. For me, some days are like,
Really
boop,
depends.
like that. Yeah, it depends, yeah. And I think a lot of that is just because of the fact that, you know, time is kind of a fabric into space-time, you know, because because time is just a broader concept of space-time, and space-time is a whole fabric of what's going on and shit. Because, like, you know, if you're near a black hole and shit, like, a few seconds near that black hole might be 100 fucking years, you know, to Earth and shit, you know, because, like, I mean, because of how the time and fabric and shit reacts to things like that. So,
And
isn't
it amazing that, like, Celtic myths kind of were actually starting...
not just Celtic, but, you know, there's also, like, to various different degrees.
Well, it's like maybe the Hindu tales probably
Even
tell
Native
that too.
American to some extent, you know?
But it's just so weird that, like, the Celts were starting to, like, approach this concept so long ago, and it's just, like, it's mind-boggling.
Oh, hold on. Ignar, are you gonna do No Nut November? I failed that literally the first fucking day,
I didn't
okay?
need to know.
I fucking, like, busted a hard nut the first fucking day, okay? I made sure I, like, busted, like, 8 nuts that day, alright? Fuck that shit. It's No Shade November, and honestly, there's more on this side than there is this side. Because this side grows less than this side, which fucking sucks. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. Thank you, fucking genetics. Anyway, what you were saying?
So yeah, I mean, I kind of already finished, but it's just mind-boggling how the Celts were actually just starting to, like, approach this concept that scientists are actually supporting now.
I mean, it's not
so
really.
weird.
I mean, it's not really that they had concepts that support it. I think it's just. I think a lot of it was just kind of coincidental because I mean they did
coincidental.
I mean, because for them, amongst all these different religious belief systems, whatever they happened to get right, I feel like was just coincidental. Because I mean, most of them really didn't have a concept or an idea or understanding of how shit worked. Like, for example, like Zeus and Thor and all these different things, so were known as like the gods of thunder. Like a lot of them,
they still had like a lot of.
I mean, but there's and there's obviously basic explanation. Like I have a stream where remember that thunderstorm that was like directly overhead of us and shit. Like I have a stream. I think I showed you. Like I have a recording of it. It's like Bring On the Thunder. I think that's the name of the video, and it is just.
Was that in August?
Yeah, I think so.
I was awake that night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
you know what's weird? That shit amazing?
You know what the weird
Wasn't that
coincidence
awesome,
was?
I was outside when that happened. It was awesome.
I was reading the lyrics to a poetic Edda of like it was like the beginnings of Ragnarok.
Dude, you should have been outside, dude. Dude, the fucking
and it was
light, the lightning,
amazing.
The
There's
lightning
like a
show,
guy,
the lights. Oh my god,
he was
so awesome.
He's like playing the lyre. Like one of those like Nordic lyres, and he's like performing the ancient like poetic Edda. It was fucking weird, dude. So like, and right after that, like a few moments after that, there's the thunder. It's like, oh shit, Thor's
okay. I had a stream, and then I recorded a video later.
It was fucking amazing.
I recorded a video and a stream.
It's the weirdest coincidence
of
ever.
Me like. In that thunderstorm and shit, I was outside when it happened. Like, I was hearing some shit outside, and I was like, what's going on? So I went outside, and it was just a fucking thunder going on. I was like, I'm gonna stay out here. And it got really close and shit. It's so fucking awesome. But, I guess my whole point was, is just that, that's just the basic science that happens. That's just the electrical magnetic currents of the atmosphere.
It's actually coming from the ground up. It's not actually coming from the sky.
Well, also, I mean, it's not directly from the sky, but it all has a, I'm blanking on the word, but it all has, like, this, symbiotic relationship. That's not the word I was looking for, but that's what came up in my mind.
It's pretty close to that.
Close to it, yeah. It all has like an effect onto just basic physical.
I mean, it's obviously
basic physics and chemistry.
It's obviously the iron core that the Earth has.
That, yeah. And we have a magnetic field, and we also have an atmosphere that and we have and weather patterns and climate that makes all this play into the fact that we have this type of shit. And back in the day, we thought it was like, what the fuck? Oh my god. Like, we were fucking traumatized over this type of shit, so we thought it was like some
gods are angry.
Yeah. You know? And sometimes that shit caused fires and wildfires, you know, so we thought there was this supernatural thing, but, you know, and honestly, ironically enough, Benjamin Franklin kind of realized that, like, this is like an energy force and just some natural shit that just happens that we can harness this stuff. You know, it's just some basic stuff that, you know, it's just like, whatever. I mean, ironically, I don't know if he was, like, the direct one to show, like, hey, you wouldn't use this type of shit, but he was, like, the one that kind of helped formate that. But either way, besides the point. But, like, I mean, we know now that it's just some basic science. We don't need to be like, oh, it's Thor, or this, or, you know, to be like, oh, it's, you know,
we understand, you know, we don't have to personify, like, the primal forces of nature that pertain to our planet
And
anymore.
I think that's a major flaw of humanity, is that we anthropomorphize so much. Like, even, you know, I know Barry ain't in there, but, like, you know, like, we anthropomorphize just, you know, everything from plants, animals, from dogs, especially, and shit, you know, especially things that are closely related, like, we anthropomorphize inanimate objects and shit, even, you know, not us directly, but, you know, like, there's, you know, or even pieces of art, you know, and it's not a bad thing. In fact, there's a lot of positives that come from that, but, like, I mean, but there's a certain aspect where it becomes, like, you know, too far where we're anthropomorphizing these things, where it's just like, oh, it's more literal realistic that, you know, it's more likely that they kind of think like us to some extent, but it's just like, we can't literally put our minds in these type of things. Like, when I look at Bear and shit, and he's just doing his own thing, I don't know what is really going through his mind. He's just a little fucking dog. I don't know what literally is in his mind. I could just kind of get what he might be thinking based on his behavior, but that's it. And, you know, a lot of times he's just kind of sleeping and chilling, doing his own thing. So it's just like, fuck the thinking. It's just like, I don't, you know, it's just like, I always kind of ponder what goes on in his head, or Bandit's mind, you know. So it's like, he kind of sleeps most of the time, and then he's just like, love attention, you little fucking slave human. You know, it's just like, sometimes it'll be that way. It'll be like an attention.
It can either be like, you know...
And then he'll be like wanting attention, but then I don't know what he means. Like, he'll be wanting attention and seeking it, but it's not like he wants it. It's like he's trying to use that as like, I want water, I want food, I want this and that. It's like, sometimes I don't get him. You know, so that's why it's just like, I don't always get, you know, it's just like, we always try to anthropomorphize what we understand with animals and anything, really.
It could be that he's trying, like, when he wants pets, it's basically because he wants to rub his scent glands on you.
Yeah.
So then he feels like he owns you.
And I obviously...
He thinks that he owns you.
Yeah, and obviously, and I know, especially if I grew up a fucking cats, and you have too. I mean, you know, we know this, and it's like, we know they're good spots where to get them. That's why when I pick up Bandit, and he's like, what the fuck, you know, instantly, I'm just like, I know your good spots, bro. I know where to get you into bliss mode. I know where to get you, like, oh, bliss. Oh, yes, bliss.
Scent glands. This is my territory. I'm comfortable here.
Oh, yes. I own you, you little slave human bitch. Oh, yes. Oh, like, I know where to get him, I could get him in that mood. Because,
like...
And he would just be like, oh. Like,
sometimes
I love it when I love it when he's in bliss. He's like, oh.
This sounds really weird.
I want to find him.
But sometimes really I'm in a certain headspace where I don't even anthropomorphize humans. And I basically reduce them down to the primal level.
Yeah, I mean, because to some extent, humans are still very primal. I mean, because, like, when you look at the whole idea of that, like, you know, like, a lot of, like, our solutions to certain ideas, whether it be very big, drastic ones, like, let's go to war with Iran, or whatever the fuck, or to, like, let's just kick his ass and kill him, or whatever. It's just like, there's always this very primal, chimp-like, you know, like, kill mentality in humans and shit. And I think that is just kind of a human trait, because honestly, I've thought about that.
It's an animal trait, too.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a life trait that is just, you know, that's just kind of innate about life. I think it's just about... I think, especially with humans, I think it's just something that, since we're such a sophisticated species, we can actually kind of think about these type of things to some extent, that we can try to, like, adapt it into something different than how we are doing it. Like, you know, like, I mean, it's a weird example, but, like, sports, for example, it's like we treat it like, I look at sports as, like, some military strategy shit. It's just like, you know, you're going to flank him over here, then you're going to do this and that, and do blah, blah, you know, it's just like, you know, like, to some extent, I kind of think about it as, like, some military strategy shit, you know? It's just, like, instead of, like, using literal troops to fucking kill each other with, let's just adapt it into something different. And as much as I do not give
something for fun.
Yeah, as much as I do not give a fuck about sports, as much as I don't care, I do understand and I value its value that it does have, because I think to some extent it helps kind of at least
channel that primal urge.
It helps. Yeah, I think it helps channel and adapt that type of tribalistic violence. Yeah,
to compete, but then it gives it a more healthy outlet, and that's also why
I think, we're able to adapt to these type of urges.
Like heavy metal.
Exactly.
It's
like there's
cathartic.
Whether it's football, whether it's metal, or music in general, or whatever it is, I think whatever, whether it's artistic expression or sports and entertainment, whatever it is, like even movies and shit, whatever it is. Like we are, there are ways we can adapt this type of mentality into something far more healthier of a thing to release as an outlet. Like, video games, too, is an especially good example, I would think. Like, I play fucking... Like, how many times have you seen me play Red Dead and I'm just literally just killing civilians left and right with no fucking care in the world?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm fighting off cops left and right, a, like, $5,000 bounty, because fuck it, like, I'm throwing dynamite and seeing people explode left and right. Like, how many times you see me do that in Red Dead? But in realistic scenario, am I actually going to enact that? Am I actually, like, contemplating wanting to realistically do that? No.
Hell no.
Like, when I think about that, it's like, I kind of think about it in a more video game perspective. It's like, let me just think about, like, how I can mod these characters to look like these people, because fuck them or whatever. Yeah. It's just like, it's just because fuck it. It's a catharsis, Like, you've talked about it a lot when you go a little more extreme than me, but you always come back as like it's a catharsis type of thing. I think I
play Oblivion a lot, and I have this character that's like really fucking overpowered when it comes to magic. Like this dude can actually kill a dude by just touching him. Like, nah, it's wine.
A lot of wine has been consumed tonight, sir.
May I have some wine, please?
Let me drink some, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
We've had a lot of wine. We watched a movie commentary that should be uploading. If you go on my channel, it might be uploaded already. We've actually been going on for 2 hours, so it should be uploaded. That explains why we are drunk. So...
It ain't not apple juice.
I'm low-key worried that it's copyrighted, but I'm hoping it's not. Because if it is, that's bullshit. But it's... Anyway, that's besides the point.
We'll see. Oh, yeah, so, like... There's this character I have that's, like, ridiculously fucking overpowered. Like, when it comes to magic. So, like, this dude can actually kill a motherfucker by touching them. Like, those, like, spells through touch? Instead of through target?
Damn.
Yeah. He can just touch them if he has enough magicka and just kill them.
That's epic.
Like, just one hit.
See, okay, you wanna know what's weird? I like to challenge myself. I never, like, when it comes to, like, Elder Scrolls or
there's still challenges. When I fight Daedra, like in Oblivion Gates, and they open, that's hard. Because, like, some of them will actually know how to, like, they'll have good gear that'll, like, reflect spells, so I'd have to be careful.
Like, when it comes...
Is a Dremora warrior who has, like, something that, like, reflects the spell, so like, if I hit them with that spell that I have, and then it kills me, and I'm like, oh shit, my own spell's killing, shit. Yeah. So I have to be careful about that. But when it comes to like, in, Cyrodiil, when I'm in the Imperial City, and I'm just like, I feel like killing some guards, and I have the Grey Fox's cowl, so I can get away with it, because people will just think I'm the Grey Fox. So then all I have to do is just take it off when no one's looking, and then I just get away with it.
Nice. Yeah, like, for me, like, that's... I like to challenge myself and not use magicka in games like Oblivion shit, because it's just, like... I don't know why, but I just, like, I don't like it, because, like, I guess it's weird because of my philosophy, I guess. It's just, like, fuck magic, it's weird spiritual nonsense, so I'm just like, nah. So, like, I remember Skyrim, I would never use Magicka, and I would never upgrade it.
You don't really need it in Skyrim.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair.
But in Oblivion...
that is true. But in Oblivion, I did the same thing, and honestly, like, I've kind of made it work before. You know, it's just like, I would only use Magicka just basically to heal myself.
Oh, it's harder in Oblivion.
Oh, I know. I mean, that's why I challenge myself, because it's just like... I mean, it's just like, come on. It's just like, this is like, this magic is spiritual one. It's just like, I'm going to challenge myself. I'm just going to use iron and steel. I'm going to be a basic primal node. Like, there was some, like, I remember Skyrim, I know it's just, I mean, honestly, the game is kind of bleh. But, like, I mean, the whole, like, I remember there's this, like, one node is like, all these weird wizards rely on magic. I just use good old trusty iron and steel. At least that is where it counts, basically, or something like that. It's like, pretty much this is like, yeah, because at least it's right there, it ain't gonna go away, it ain't gonna do this or that or nothing, yeah. It's just like, there's always been like a part of me that's like, at least there's good old trusty steel, it's just like, so I just like always...
But at least I know I can kill that fucking Nord, all I need is fire magic,
well,
damage health.
If I have armor or some shit that can help resist against...
As long as it's enchanted.
Exactly.
But I can corrode the armor.
Even though I might be against using Magicka, I'm gonna enchant some bitches. I'm enchanting my swords, I'm enchanting my armor left and right like a nigga. Yeah. I'm enchanting some niggas left and right. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna be enchanting some bitches. I just don't, like, I know for some reason I have a principle of not using Magicka. I do not know why, I just do. I mean, I guess it's just... I mean, it's not really necessarily missing out. I will use certain forms of Magicka to my advantage because, because why not?
Because in Oblivion, you don't regenerate your health, but I know in Skyrim you do. But, like, in Oblivion, you have certain spells and you can just,
I think on a harder difficulty in Skyrim, your health regenerates way longer, and I play on harder difficulty because it's more challenging, I guess.
Yeah.
But, to that extent, but yeah. Like, it's just like, yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, I just, like, when it came to Magicka, I've just never been the biggest fan of it, because it's like, I don't know, because this is like, if I could just throw fire spells, and he burns and slowly drains health, as long as I stay away from him, or not getting damaged by him, I'll be okay.
That's Hackdirt, right?
There's a minor Oblivion character named after me, Yeah, it's Van Holden or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, you told me about it once. I'm a little drunk, so sorry if I'm being blah, but like I remember
Hackdirt.
That, yeah.
I know the name of that town. Yeah, the Shadow over Hackdirt. Basically, Dharma is kidnapped by the people in Hackdirt, and it's so basically they're gonna try and sacrifice her to the Deep Ones, which are probably the Slowed.
I need to get back into Oblivion, honestly. I remember when I first started playing it, I was not into it. I guess it was just because of the game. I don't know why, initially. I got turned off for some reason. Because I think it was right after I traded it with you. I think when I first started playing, I was like, eh. But then after a while, I was like, I don't know why I'm again. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, why the fuck did I just start? I'm thinking about, like, why? Why? Why did I not play it? Like, because I want to play shit like Morrowind. I want to play the original fucking Elder Scrolls, for God's sakes. This is like...
I still haven't done that.
I know, it's just like, I mean, if I want to do that... I know, it's just like, if I want to do that, how am I going against Oblivion, out of all things? This is like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I need to get back into it.
See, Morrowind's combat system takes a while to get used to.
Oh, I bet.
Like, when it comes to, like, so...
But there's a learning curve that I want to...
Yeah, there's a curve. Yeah. There's a level curve. So basically, before your skill's at 50, you're gonna be like frustrated with the fact that like you're like trying to hit something at point blank range and it won't actually hit.
Yeah, a game. Well, it's not more of a game, more of a simulation. But have you heard of Arma?
Arma, I think.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I've heard of Arma.
Yeah. It's kind of like that, it's not, like, it's something that you have to, like, really learn over time. I mean, it's kind of like, there's some basic hotkeys you can, like, look at and get over time, but, like if you want to actually, like, try to do, like, some realistic...
Shadow over Hackdirt.
Yeah, if you want to, like, do, like, some realistic military-style scenarios, like, it's kind of difficult to learn, really. But it's fun. It's still fun. I mean, that's what I love about it. Like, I mean, so there's a learning curve about games that I do love... Which is kind of why I look at Oblivion, I'm like, why haven't I not gotten into that? Because it's just like, there was a learning curve that I kind of appreciated of.
They definitely had a good score and soundtrack. That's
true.
True.
Yeah. See, this is why I'm questioning myself as to, at least initially, why I wasn't into Oblivion. Because it's like, there were certain aspects I liked about it, but for some reason, I don't know why initially I got turned off by it. Like,
there's a reason why.
There's memes, for some reason when I initially played it, for some reason I got turned off. I do not know why. I just don't know why.
Stop right there, criminal scum! You violated my mother!
See, I mean, I really don't know why, though. I need to just get back into the fucking game and just play it again. That's all I need to do, because I really don't understand why I got turned off by it. Because it's just like, because honestly, I look at it, and honestly, as much as there's flaws into the game, as much as there is, I mean, and they're pretty hilarious nonetheless, honestly.
You give Fimian sweet roll.
I mean,
sweet roll.
I mean, the thing is, honestly, the flaws of the game are more hilarious and to be taken lightly, if anything.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know why I got turned off by it. I'm thinking about it now. I'm really contemplating that right now, and I'm wondering how I got so turned off by Oblivion. I mean, I guess so. I don't know. Maybe it was just the start of the game. Maybe like the initial startup was too slow for me.
The start of the game gets a little boring.
Yeah, I think that was why. I think that was initially why.
I found ways to exploit some of the leveling systems.
Uh-huh.
So, like, when it comes to...
Explain, because I will use it.
So, and, you know that part where you come near the goblins when you're, like, going through the caves in the beginning?
I don't think... Well, I think I got turned off before that point, but I think I'm going to go back into Oblivion at some point, like, for sure.
Vaguely near that, but you're still undetected, what you could do is basically just move around in that area that you're undetected, and then you will level your sneak skill. You do it for a long time.
And you can just slowly level your... Nice.
Yeah.
Fuck
and
yeah.
then you could be like a fucking stealth assassin, just come up behind someone. Boom!
Basically, like stealth,
Boom,
like Stealth 100 in Skyrim, where you can literally make someone naked, and they're like, "Who the fuck is there? Who is there? I am not unarmed and naked. I literally have nothing in my inventory, but who the fuck is there? Oh, must have been the wind. I must have heard nothing.
I'll be right back. But,
not a problem, bro. I'll check up on the chat and see what they're saying real quick. I saw It's Apple Juice earlier. Who are they? I like them. Are they gone? Yeah, they're gone. I'm sad. I can't sleep. Damn. Are they still here? I hope they're here. I like you. I don't know who you are, but I like you. You sound pretty legit. You gave me metal horns when I did those earlier, so I approve of you. You sound like an awesome person. Oblivion's score soundtrack helped me get through many a hangover and kratom withdrawals. I need to, you know what? Is there actually, please tell me there's like a video or at least a playlist of the Oblivion soundtrack. That's all I care about. I might just listen to that tonight as I go to sleep. I usually listen to podcasts when I go to sleep, but it's been a while since I've listened to music as I go to sleep. I do that sometimes, but I haven't done it in a long time. Oblivion soundtrack.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Yes, it's an. Oh my god, the original soundtrack is all here. Expedia, fuck you!
See, what was I about to say? Oh, yeah, so.
How dare you, cunt.
I know the sneak skill, there isn't an actual pickpocket skill, because it's actually part of the sneak skill. And even if you have like 100 sneak, which almost every one of my characters is a master of sneak.
Same here.
Because of what
honestly, it's not that hard. Honestly, it's not that hard to sneak around people. Like, initially, it can be kind of a challenge. Even in Skyrim, it can be. But once you, like, even if you initially, like, begin Apple Juice's Jesse. Oh.
Apple Juice's
okay,
Jesse,
well, you're
Nick's
already
wife.
awesome then. Jesse is amazing. I love Jesse. Nick's wife. Yeah, I know her, yes.
Who was Nick?
I remember her as LA's ghost.
Oh, okay.
That's how. I mean, yeah, that's probably how you remember her too, as. But I guess it's Apple Juice now.
Elder Scrolls theme.
Don't you dare, because I'm speaking. You're speaking. I'm just gonna drink now. Put that shit back. Put that shit back, boy. Oblivion score soundtrack. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. I already read a comment.
This
Don't need to
is true.
read it again. Like, I should go back to the other ones.
So wait.
Good score
Helps me
soundtrack.
get through many a hangover. Holy shit.
Dude, I might do that tonight. So, just saying. Why are you looking at me like that? There's no reason to do that. There's no reason to... You're just being a drunk, autistic faggot, okay? You need to calm yourself, because you're being a nigga. You need to calm yourself, okay? Don't do that to me. I'm taking a hit. Calm yourself.
Dude. Have you ever seen this video series? This dude actually plays Oblivion, but like he does like he has some really awesome editing skills too. He's called Will Burger. Have you ever heard of him? You've seen the pictures of like when he's a Khajiit, he's autism cat.
I'm subscribed to him.
Fuck yeah, dude. That is some of the best shit ever. He points out in the most hilarious fashion some of the like the errors of the game.
I mean,
like,
but it's great.
Some
I
of
mean,
the AI shortcomings in it, and then like he just exploits it to, like to the best degree. My most favorite part was like it's that one where he's trying to get the Mages Guild recommendation, and he's like, you know, he's at the Brina Cross Inn, and you know it's about the murders. And so, like, he changes the name of one of the NPCs, the one that actually turns out to be the murderer, into Psycho Bitch.
Oh my
Just,
god.
like, following her around. It's fucking hilarious. You gotta see it.
Oh my god. I haven't seen Will Burger in a while, but oh my god. Ignore, do you roleplay like on Twitter? Nah, I don't roleplay anymore. I used to. Like erotic roleplay, shit like that. But I used to, but not anymore, mainly because I don't know if you noticed it, but every time I like look at people who are like openly like role players and shit, they cringe me the fuck out. So I'm just like, eh.
They just make you cringe.
Yeah. So I'm just never really enticed to go back into roleplay because I used to, and honestly, I'm pretty good at it. I'm really good at it. I like to be detailed and and explicit when it comes to sexual play and shit, or even like when it comes to like militaristic style roleplay. I've done that before too. Like, I like to be detailed and shit. And it's just like, like, I like that, but it's just like when I look at other role players and shit, they're just so simplistic and just so, it really does cringe me. It's just like, ugh. Like, come on. It's like, can't you be like a little detailed or at least explicit to some extent? Like, I mean, at least openly, especially on Twitter, I mean, especially with the character limit, it's just like, I don't like that, because I like being detailed and trying to express emotion to the most of my abilities and personality. Yeah,
Lifts her tail. This bread is so hard.
Discord's better than Twitter. They're not Discord, bro. I'm sure Discord is better. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's Discord servers dedicated to roleplay and shit. And honestly, I might open a channel for roleplay. I mean, it depends on it.
Why don't you polish my spear if you need things to clean?
The less Argonian maid, really.
Oh, it's so
I mean,
big.
that's the kind of... I mean,
It'll take me all night.
I mean...
Plenty of time.
That's technically... I mean, if it was two people collaborating on that, that's roleplay to some extent. Because one person will be one character, even if they're not that same gender. Like, if the... Like, because I've done role plays where I've been a female before, and vice versa, like, and shit. So it's just like, that can happen, it's just so, and I've, but it's just like, I don't know, like, I've just, like, I will see it nowadays, and it just seems so, like I've done it, like, the last time I've tried doing it, it's just been with people who are just, like, bleh, just not good with it. It's just like, ugh. It's like, come on. It's just kind of cringy. It's just like, at least get some... Like, even on platforms where it is, like, where you can add detail, it's just, like, very simple, like, but. It's like, really? Come on. You can at least be a little bit more detailed than that. I mean, it's like, come on. This is like, ugh. I find roleplay to be just kind of cringy now, I guess. I don't know. I don't really see a lot of people who just do it in detailed, good roleplays, I guess.
Cringe, cringe.
Not openly,
cringe,
at least.
Cringe, 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 cringe. It's a whole lot of cringe.
I like detailed roleplay. I'm good at it. Alright. Well. What the fuck are you even doing?
It's that Led Zeppelin song, Whole Lot of Love, but then, like, if you made a parody, it was Whole Lot of Cringe.
I could probably, I mean, I have the bass right there. I may be drunk, but, you know, I'm always not that bad at bass. If I can at least find that if I can find that, I could probably get the rest.
It's in E. It's like a pentatonic E minor. Oh, here's the E.
Yeah.
So, somewhere, I think on the 7th fret of the A string, you can match that pitch, and it's just an octave.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, that matches.
Okay. Okay, maybe I'm a little too drunk for it. Hold on.
I could figure it out.
Well, don't be the fucking show-off, because I know you are. Let me learn, because I'm not as experienced.
I'm rubbing my eye, and I probably shouldn't. Oh, you're so close.
I'm so close. Okay, you know what? Because you are the show-off. You know what? Because you are. At least just give me one example of the basic fundamental, and then I can get the rest. Don't.
And then what's the next note? What's the next note?
E? Okay. Alright.
I don't know if John Paul Jones actually plays that part. I know, obviously.
Oh, did I just throw my pick in? Oh, I did.
Penis butt.
I did.
Oh.
You know what? This happens even to the best. This happens even to the worst and the best.
This has happened to me.
I got it.
You got it. Oh,
there it is.
You're lucky.
Okay, maybe I'm not too drunk to do the Led Zeppelin, but I could probably do other shit, though.
Baby, I'm not fooling. I'm gonna send you back to school. Way down inside, you really are cringe. You make me fucking cringe. Oh, that's a whole lot of cringe. That's a whole lot of cringe. It's a whole lot of cringe.
You were saying?
Grunge! Stop giving a fuck!
Even drunk, I can do a pretty alright. At least alright. An alright tune. And I can do power chords on bass. That's not something you see bassists do, okay?
That's true, yeah.
So
I don't see a lot of bassists doing power chords. How often do you change these strings?
Actually, the strings have never been changed since I bought them.
Oh my god! Damn it, dude!
I have never altered. Okay, this bass has never been altered since I bought it at the thrift store that me and Harley have split money on to buy. Technically, him and I still split the bass as ownership, but I honestly, for all intents and purposes, own the fucking thing.
To be fair, I mean, those strings are pretty good for not being changed probably in years. But the thing about bass strings is, like, you know, if you compose a song and you're really serious about getting stuff off the ground, when you're recording, you should change your strings. I'm just gonna put that out there. You need to change your strings if you're really serious about recording some stuff, because it'll make the instrument and your playing sound 10 times better. I swear by it.
I don't know. There's like a rustic tone with this that I do enjoy.
Yes, but it also constricts your playing a little bit. I've noticed this with myself too. Like, I mean, I don't really have any choice but to change strings in my guitar because, you know, they break. Because when you play a guitar a lot, they will break. But one of these days, one of these strings is going to break and you need to change one.
I'm surprised none of them are broke yet.
They will break.
Dude, I have abused these strings so much and have tuned them back in place and been... Dude, I mean, you...
But yeah, I know what you mean. Imagine how hilarious it would be if you just broke it now. Oh my god. You're just bending so far. I wonder how far I can bend that. Strings.
Okay, don't actually... Okay, I've abused these strings a lot. I mean, you saw me go from, like... like a third octave on this bitch, which can't even normally reach this fucking thing. I somehow got it on here. I don't even know how I got it here, let alone I could barely get it here. But I somehow got it... I can't even do it again. I don't even know how I got it here. I got it like, this is an octave. But I got it like like here. This is an octave.
Not quite. That's a fifth.
Okay, never mind. Okay,
that's the octaves.
Okay, all right. You're right. So here's an octave. I somehow got an octave on this bitch, but I can't even do it now. I can't even do it. I somehow did it earlier, but I can't do it now. I don't even know how.
I want to know if I can duplicate it.
If you could try, but if you break a string, you owe me some bass strings.
So basically, it was an octave from this.
It was like right. It was that one, yeah. Or somewhere around there. It wasn't the... Well, the show-off motherfucker here. I like a good detailed roleplay. It's like writing his little story. That's how I feel. You know what? Okay, you and I might have to do some roleplay at some point. You sound like you might be on my type of vibe when it comes to roleplay. Ah, shit, titties, hold up. I got a phone call. I'm going to use it as a text message. As a quick response. In fact, I actually might go back. So you go ahead and have a jam. I'm just going to be right back.
basically, this was just a guitarist trying to play bass, kind of failing at it, because I'm not a bassist. I'm a guitarist. And I'm also using a pick, which is... it's kind of cheating, because a real bassist plays, but holy shit, this phone's about to die. Where's the charger? I should probably tell Andrew. What the... I think the stream... So this stream might be killed. If the stream just, like, goes off at sudden, that's why, because the charge is literally... Like, the phone is literally at 2%, so I better tell Andrew and give him a heads up. I'll be right back.